Chapter 33. Qin once again felt the power of an expert of this level. The last time he fought with the Nine Heavens Lost Spirit, the power he faced was even stronger, but there were similarities. This meant that the technique Barbarian Emperor cultivated should be the same as the Nine Heavens Lost Spirits. Barbarian Emperor's strength was much weaker than the Nine Heavens Lost Spirit. Firstly, he was weaker than the Nine Heavens Lost Spirit, and secondly, his injuries had not healed. This guy is still very strong. If he was at his peak state, it would be very difficult for me to defeat him. At most, I would be able to fight to a draw. Qin estimated Barbarian Emperor's peak strength. He was secretly glad that he had cultivated before and dug out the power of his entire arm. Otherwise, it would be very difficult for him to face the injured Barbarian Emperor. Barbarian Emperor's expression was solemn as he looked at Qin from afar. He only wanted to curse because Qin's body was unbelievably powerful. Just now, Qin had used his fist to directly collide with his sharp saber, and his fist was completely unharmed. In addition, he could not determine if Qin was injured or not, but he felt that there was a high chance that Qin was injured. Back then, the Nine Heavens Lost Spirit said that Qin was finished, which meant that Qin was heavily injured. Even if Qin did not die, he would still be injured. Qin was so strong even though he was injured. This made Barbarian Emperor feel horrified. He finally understood why the Nine Heavens Lost Spirit said that Qin was very strong. Barbarian Emperor was also dissatisfied with the Nine Heavens Lost Spirit because it had never said that Qin's body was so terrifying. The Nine Heavens Lost Spirit knew that Qin was not dead, but he was definitely crippled and would never be able to recover from this setback. Therefore, he felt that there was no need to tell Barbarian Emperor so much about his battle with Qin. In fact, when Qin and the Nine Heavens Lost Spirit were fighting, Barbarian Emperor was watching from afar. However, because the aura at the center of the battle was too chaotic and Barbarian Emperor did not dare to approach, he could not see clearly. Qin had already roughly probed Barbarian Emperor's strength, and he was even more confident. As long as he defeated Barbarian Emperor and obtained that saber, he could use it to block the next time he faced the Nine Heavens Lost Spirit. After Barbarian Emperor found out that Qin is very strong, he became even more serious about this battle. Otherwise, he would lose. Furthermore, he would lose in front of so many people. This would be even more unsightly. One had to know that ever since Qin escaped from the dark space, the Nine Heavens Dharma spirits did not interfere in the matters of the Nine Sun Sacred Land. Therefore, the Barbarian King was the strongest in the Nine Sun Sacred Land. This made him feel somewhat smug. Not much time had passed, and if he were to be defeated by Qin, the Barbarian Sovereign would definitely lose face. Luo Yingtian was the avatar of the Barbarian Sovereign. He was very shameless and dared to kneel in front of Qin. However, the Barbarian Sovereign was not such a person. He cared a lot about his face. The Barbarian Emperor's body suddenly trembled, and then a wave of air burst out. His body rapidly swelled up, and his body suddenly became bigger. Just a moment ago, he was still a slender and handsome man, but now he had become a burly and muscular man. This change was very big. This is the state of a barbarian after entering a berserk state. Their strength will suddenly increase by a lot. However, the Barbarian Emperor is different from ordinary barbarians. His body will not become a few meters tall giant, but he will become a lot more sturdy. The Barbarian Emperor raised his saber and rushed over. He knew that it was impossible to use energy attacks to deal with Qin from afar. Qin's powerful body would definitely be able to withstand powerful long-range energy attacks. Only by using a powerful weapon to attack Qin at close range and destroy his body would he be able to defeat him. In fact, if the energy was strong enough, it was still possible to defeat Qin. The Nine Heavens Dharma spirits were the same before, but they were unable to destroy Qin's body from afar. In the end, Qin still escaped. Qin, you are much younger than me. I have dominated many barbarian race universes for more than 10 universe epochs. When I was at my peak, you had not been created yet. How could you be my match? The barbarian emperor held his saber with both hands and roared. He rushed towards Qin Yun at his fastest speed. After he entered a berserk state, both his speed and strength increased by 2 to 3 times. He believed that with this kind of strength, he would definitely be able to slash Qin Yun in one slash. Qin Yun sighed in his heart. This barbarian emperor had actually lived for more than 10 universe epochs. That was more than 1 billion years. Just thinking about it, he had no idea how he managed to endure it. However, it was precisely because of this that the barbarian emperor could not afford to lose. They were both people created by the universe lost spirits using the divine sun-blood seed. He, the barbarian emperor, had clearly cultivated many years earlier than Qin Yun. How could he lose to Qin Yun? He also knew that Qin Yun had used the divine sun-blood seed to break through by himself. As for him and the 9 heavens Dharma spirits, they were guided by the universe lost spirits. From the 9 heavens Dharma spirits and the barbarian emperor's point of view, their cultivation method should be more brilliant than Qin Yun's. If Qin Yun's cultivation method was stronger than theirs, then they would find it hard to accept this fact, because this meant that they were all failed experimental subjects. Qin Yun saw the saber slash down, but he had no intention of dodging. He could dodge it. Although the barbarian emperor's speed was very fast, he was still a bit slower than the 9 heavens Dharma spirits. Just a bit slower was enough for him to dodge. He condensed a heavenly rune word on each of his palms, defense and vibration respectively. His right arm stimulated even more power, so he condensed the defense heavenly rune word to ensure that his defense was strong enough. His left palm formed the vibration heavenly rune word. He first slapped the saber with his left palm, releasing a very strong vibration power to disperse the power condensed in the saber. Then, he quickly grabbed the saber with his right palm. This seemed to be done at the same time, so it looked like he used both palms to catch the saber. Only the barbarian emperor knew that the timing of Qin Yun's palms colliding with the saber was just right, dispelling the powerful power within the saber. Then his other palm released a very strange power to block the explosion of the scattered power within the saber. After the barbarian emperor entered berserk mode, his power increased by a lot. Such a fierce saber slash was actually easily caught by Qin Yun. This move of catching a white blade with bare hands completely shattered the mentality of the barbarian emperor. And among the big shots of the new beginning human camp who were watching the battle from afar, some of them have already fled. Qin Yun's strength was so strong that it made them feel fear. Killing them was like cutting grass. Barbarian Emperor wanted to pull out the saber, but found it difficult to do so. He could only vigorously kick Qin Yun's abdomen. What made Barbarian Emperor uncomfortable is that when his foot landed on Qin Yun's abdomen, it was repelled by a power. He was unable to injure Qin Yun at all. "This saber is mine. You don't have any objections, right?" Qin Yun said. "Don't even think about taking it away. You can't kill me." Barbarian Emperor roared. "If I really go all out, although I can't kill you, I can cripple you for a very long time." Qin Yun said, "Do you want to force me to go all out? I will definitely defeat you next time." Barbarian Emperor released the saber, turned around, and flew away. Barbarian Emperor is not injured. If Qin Yun wants to seriously injure Barbarian Emperor, he will indeed have to go all out. And Barbarian Emperor doesn't know this. Otherwise, he would have continued fighting. Because he attacked Qin Yun with all his strength, Qin Yun's powerful defense caused his heart to collapse, and he completely lost his fighting spirit. Chapter 33-34. Barbarian Emperor walked very fast. Everyone else followed behind him, as if they were fleeing for their lives. They did not have any disloyalty towards Barbarian Emperor because of this. It is precisely because they are following Barbarian Emperor that Qin Yun cannot attack them. Everyone can see that although Barbarian Emperor cannot defeat Qin Yun, if they fight with their lives on the line, the result is hard to say. Qin Yun watched Barbarian Emperor walk away and then let out a sigh of relief. He was still a little nervous just now. It seemed like he had won the battle, but it was not a complete victory. Barbarian Emperor still had the strength to fight again, but because there was no need, Barbarian Emperor did not continue fighting. Divine King, if you really fight with Barbarian Emperor, what will the result be? Nine Heaven Island Master is very curious about this. Barbarian Emperor will definitely lose, but he might not die. As for me, I will definitely be seriously injured. If Qin Yun wants to defeat Barbarian Emperor, he will definitely have to fight for a long time. In the end, he will definitely be riddled with scars. They're flying towards the exit and will leave very soon. Only when they all leave this 18-layer space will I be able to completely relax. Nine Heaven Island Master can know if they have left or not at any time. Qin Yun nodded and said, "Let's wait for them here. I will rest first." He released the nine-sun heaven-raising pagoda and let it float in the air. Then he entered the pagoda. He wants to quickly get a divine sun blood seed for Nine Heaven Island Master. A divine sun blood seed only consumes 5 trillion divine universe golden stones. However, the value of heavenly poison divine sun core is inestimable. Even if 10 times more divine universe golden stones were used, it would still be impossible to create. Qin Yun and Nine Heaven Island Master did not sign a soul contract, but he will definitely fulfill his promise. Because there is still a mysterious ancient beast inside Nine Heaven Island. He wants to go and see the situation of that ancient beast. Right now, he knows very little about ancient beasts. After he gives the divine sun blood seed to Nine Heaven Island Master, he can ask him in passing. Nine Heavens Island Lord flew around the nine suns, sky-raising pagoda, carefully inspecting it. Half a day later, Qin Yun came out of the pagoda. Did they all leave? Qin Yun asked. They all left. Nine Heaven Island Master nodded. He was worried that Qin Yun would trick him. Seeing Qin Yun drive away Barbarian Emperor and others, Nine Heaven Island Master felt relieved and no longer suspected Qin Yun. Qin Yun took out a box and handed it over to Nine Heaven Island Master. He said, "This is a divine sun blood seed. It is rather small." Nine Heavens Island Lord's hands were trembling. He was very excited at the moment. He hurriedly opened the box and saw a divine sun blood seed that was emitting a purple glow. He was very sure that this was the divine sun blood seed, because he had once helped the universe lost spirit collect the divine sun blood seed. But at that time, he did not know the importance of these things. This is the divine universe purple sun blood seed? Where did you get this from? This is very precious. Normally, for such a large divine universe bloodline, the divine universe purple sun is definitely not small. The Lord of Nine Heavens Island became even more excited. "I got by chance." Qin Yun said, "Nine Heavens Island Lord, do you know a lot about the divine Yang bloodline? Back then, I helped the Cosmos Spirit collect them, but most of them were from Xie Yang and Mo Yang." Nine Heavens Island Lord said, "I've never seen a bloodline with a super divine sun like the divine universe purple Sunday. How much do you know about the divine sun blood seed? How do you plan to use the blood seed to cultivate?" Qin Yun asked. "Actually, it's not that I need the divine sun blood seed. It's that big guy." Nine Heavens Island Lord looked at the center of the Nine Heavens Island and sighed. "That big guy needs to eat a large amount of divine sun blood seed to cultivate. Then I'll use its blood to cultivate a special body. Is it a beast?" Qin Yun stored the nine-sun heaven-raising pagoda and prepared to go take a look. "Yes, it's coming out soon. I can't be sure if this ancient beast temperament will change greatly after breaking the seal." Nine Heavens Island Lord said, "Divine King, I'll take you to take a look. This ancient beast is very dangerous. If we can't subdue it, we can't let it fall into the hands of Barbarian Emperor and the others. Otherwise, it will be very dangerous." Qin Yun followed Nine Heavens Island Lord and flew towards the place where the ancient beast was sealed. On the way, he earnestly listened to Nine Heavens Island Lord talk about the ancient beast. Qin Yun originally thought that the ancient beast was created by the universe lost spirit. He never expected that it was not. Back when Nine Heavens Island Lord helped the universe lost spirit find the divine sun blood seed, he inadvertently found an energy body. Then the energy body turned into an egg, and the ancient beast hatched from this egg. The energy body is the evolution of the super-large nether sun after self-cultivation. It becomes very small and very hard to find. Old brother Taishur guided Qin Yun to find one and then refined it into his imperial heaven heart. Energy bodies are the most dangerous things in the universe. They are usually destroyed or sealed into bloodline heavenly rune boxes. The number of energy bodies is very small. There are only a few of them in the entire universe, and they are either destroyed or sealed. After the ancient beast hatches, it is just a lump of meat. It has no shape, but it can erupt with very formidable power. Nine Heavens Island Lord was very afraid and went to inform the universe lost spirit. Then the ancient beast was sealed for several universe epochs. After that, the universe's Dharma spirit didn't ask about the ancient beasts anymore. It was only during this period of time that the sealed ancient beasts made a huge commotion and could communicate with Nine Heavens Island Lord. The ancient beast has now become very strong. The universe lost spirit seal is from many years ago. It has been loosened by the ancient beast struggle. That is why the universe lost spirit thought of the ancient beast. Then the universe lost spirit handed this matter over to the Nine Heavens lost spirit. Nine Heavens lost spirit didn't have time, so he handed this matter over to Barbarian Emperor and let Barbarian Emperor take down Nine Heavens Island. That way, the ancient beast will be theirs. I wonder if the Nine Heavens lost spirit will come or not. Nine Heavens Island Lord suddenly became worried. Back then, it was the Nine Heavens lost spirit who defeated Qin Yun. If he knew that Qin Yun is fine, he would definitely want to come again. As long as the Nine Heavens lost spirit doesn't die, the Nine Heavens lost spirit won't come. Qin Yun speculated that the Nine Heavens lost spirit and the Nine Heavens lost spirit are fighting. The Nine Heavens lost spirit believes that since he killed Qin Yun, if he also killed the Nine Heavens lost spirit, there would be no threat in the divine desolate. Basically, he would be in charge of it. Therefore, he would definitely seize the opportunity to kill the Nine Heavens lost spirit, making it impossible for Qin Yun and the Nine Heavens lost spirit to rise again. I am mainly worried about the universe lost spirit. If the Nine Heavens lost spirit and the Nine Heavens lost spirit are fighting each other, then what about the universe lost spirit? Nine Heavens Island Lord said, the universe lost spirit is currently transforming into a human. He can't find the time right now. With his kind of cultivation, it will definitely take a very long time to transform into a human. Qin Yun said, if he could appear, he would have appeared long ago. This made Nine Heavens Island Lord even more worried. If the universe lost spirit transformed into a human, then the opposing camp would be even more powerful. They would be invincible in the divine desolate. Don't worry, Qin Yun is actually very indifferent and said, as long as the universe lost spirit transforms into a human, then compared to the vast divine desolate, he will become very insignificant. There is nothing to be afraid of. Chapter 33-35. Qin Yun now has some understanding of these lost spirits. If the universe lost spirit transformed into a human, he would no longer be able to fuse with the universe law and use it. Just like the Nine Suns lost spirit. After he transformed into a human, he would no longer be able to control the myriad realms' divine Sunday. At most, he would be able to borrow a lot of power from the myriad realms' divine Sunday. Transforming into a human is equivalent to them becoming like humans. They would no longer be the controller of the laws. Then they would be insignificant in front of nature. Therefore, Qin Yun is eager for the universe lost spirit to transform into a human. As long as he transforms into a human, it would be easy to deal with him in the future. A universe lost spirit that has not transformed into a human does not have a body. Moreover, its soul is attached to the universe law. It is illusory and illusory. There is no way to take revenge on it. I hope so. Nine Heaven Island Master does not think so. In his opinion, after the universe lost spirit transforms into a human, it would become even more terrifying. Qin Yun can see the fear Nine Heaven Island Master has towards the universe lost spirit. After all, the universe lost spirit is the supreme controller of the universe's order. For many years, Nine Heaven Island Master has always listened to the universe lost spirit's orders. Nine Heaven Island Master even believes that the reason why he can appear is because the universe lost spirit created him. Therefore, he is filled with fear towards the universe lost spirit. However, even if he is afraid of the universe lost spirit, he still dares to choose his own path and no longer listen to the universe lost spirit. This means that he will face a calamity at any moment. Don't worry, Divine Desolate is a trap created by the Nine Suns lost spirit, a cage. It is used to capture the universe lost spirit. As long as he transforms into a human and enters Divine Desolate, even if no one is his match, he will not be able to destroy Divine Desolate. Qin Yin said with a smile. Of course, this is all nonsense. However, he is certain that the Nine Suns lost spirit has always wanted the universe lost spirit to transform into a human. Maybe Divine Desolate was created to lure the universe lost spirit to transform into a human. Qin Yun followed behind Nine Heaven Island Master and quickly arrived at the center of the island. There are more than 1,000 huge mountains here. Each of them looks like a mighty giant beast. Were these huge mountains originally like this? Qin Yun floated in the air and said in astonishment. This formation was set up by the universe lost spirit. It was arranged by the universe's magical spirit, but it wasn't like this at first. Only after many years did the enormous mountain gradually take shape. Nine Heavens Island Lord said, Divine Monarch, what kind of beast do these mountains look like? That ancient beast had been sealed here for a few universe eras, but Nine Heavens Island Lord had never seen what it looked like afterwards. When the ancient beast hatched from the egg, it was just a lump of meat without any shape. It looks like a qilin, but it also has the characteristics of a dragon. Qin Yin said, it might be a fusion of the two. The reason why these mountains have become like this is because of that ancient beast's influence over the years. The Nine Heavens Island Lord said, but I've never sensed any power. Why would the mountain change shape? Every mountain was tens of thousands of meters tall and had reached this height after several epochs. However, Nine Heavens Island Lord didn't sense it. This meant that the power used by the ancient beasts was very special. It might even be something that transcended this universe. Qin Yun's lawless power was also very difficult to sense. He used lawless power as his main power to carve the invisibility heavenly rune into his body. Because of that, he had a very strong concealment ability, making it impossible for the barbarian emperor to discover him. After Nine Heavens Island Lord and Qin Yun arrived, Divine Judge, Nine Dragon King, Dragon Turtle King, Long Shu, Phoenix Queen, and others arrived one after another. Qin Yun nodded at them, indicating that he is fine and telling them not to worry. The Divine King defeated the barbarian emperor and drove them away. Nine Heavens Island Lord is very happy to talk about this matter. Hearing this, everyone is very astonished. They knew that Qin Yun is very strong, but they didn't expect him to be completely fine after defeating the barbarian emperor. They also experienced barbarian emperor's strength before. Luckily, he didn't dare to attack them in this place, so they were not attacked by him. You should leave as soon as possible, Qin Yun suddenly said. That guy's coming out. Divine King, should I leave? Nine Heavens Island Lord asked. You don't need to leave. You stay here. Everyone else leave as soon as possible. This Nine Heavens Island might be destroyed. Qin Yun said. Nine Heavens Island Lord cried out in alarm. Yes, arrange for Nine Heavens Island's people to leave as soon as possible, Qin Yun urged. Nine Heavens Island Lord immediately used the magic mirror to contact the people on the island, telling them to leave this 18-layer space as soon as possible. Qin Yun nodded at Long Shu, telling her to leave with everyone and not to worry about him. Long Shu is still very worried about Qin Yun, especially after hearing that Qin Yun was killed by the Nine Heavens Lost Spirit. She felt sad for quite a while. Now that she saw Qin Yun, she has to leave without even being alone with him. Moreover, Qin Yun might fall into danger again. Everyone immediately left. They came here to defend against the barbarian emperor. Although their strength is far inferior to the barbarian emperor, they can still block those heavenly emperors and Taisher powers. The barbarian emperor can't make a move because his formidable power will alarm the ancient beast. However, those heavenly emperors can. That's why those people fought with the divine martial emperor and the others. It was because the barbarian emperor sensed the aura of the heavenly poisoned divine sun core that they stopped fighting. Very soon, only Qin Yun and Nine Heavens Island Lord remained. Divine King, how did you know that the ancient beast would come out? Nine Heavens Island Lord asked. Nine Heavens Island Lord's spirit body is still on this island. If this island is destroyed, his soul can only drift and will dissipate very quickly. Therefore, he is very worried that this huge island will be destroyed. But seeing that Qin Yun is here, he felt a lot more at ease. I can feel that there's a power condensing, and it will explode very soon. Qin Yun said, no wonder the barbarian emperor didn't dare to act recklessly before. He must have sensed that this power is about to explode. If he fights here, he will definitely cause that power to explode. Nine Heavens Island Lord is extremely alarmed. He promptly asked, Divine King, if that guy comes out, will he destroy my island? I can't be sure. It was already very difficult for him to break through this seal. Maybe he doesn't have extra power to destroy everywhere. Qin Yun said, but when he breaks through the seal, this area will definitely be destroyed. If it's only this area that will be destroyed, then it's fine. Nine Heavens Island Lord felt a lot more at ease. Didn't you say that you could communicate with him before? Tell him that you have already found the divine sun blood seed. Qin Yun said, if possible, when he comes out, I will extract his blood and try to help you cultivate a body. That way, you can quickly get rid of this Nine Heavens Island. Nine Heavens Island Lord repeatedly nodded and said, I will immediately try to contact him. The divine sun blood seed he just obtained is very good. It must be something that the ancient beast likes very much. In order to contact the ancient beast as soon as possible, he even exposed the divine sun blood seed. The earth suddenly trembled, accompanied by a low and weak roar. The divine sun blood seed produced a pretty good effect. Chapter 33-36. Nine Heaven Island Master jumped in fright and cried out in alarm. God King, what happened? Is this island going to explode? Quickly communicate with the ancient beast and see what it plans to do. Qin Yun hurriedly urged. Even Qin Yun felt that the situation is not right. The ancient beast must have been alarmed by the divine sun blood seed, but after being alarmed, it seems to have become irritable due to some other reason. Nine Heaven Island Master continued to communicate with the ancient beast. After a series of attempts, he became even more afraid. Not good. This ancient beast is very irritable. It has a very strong battle intent. I can't communicate with it at all. It only has one strong thought. It wants to come out and fight. Nine Heaven Island Master's face is filled with fear. He looked and said, God King, you should leave quickly. This ancient beast seems to be coming for you. Maybe it's because he sensed my presence and wants to fight with me. Qin Yun felt that this is quite normal. Wasn't Barbarian Emperor the same before? This Nine Heaven Island Master naturally knows Qin Yun's strength, but he still feels that the ancient beast is stronger. Dodge it. Qin Yun took a deep breath and took out Barbarian Emperor's saber. He quickly flew towards a huge mountain and cleaved it in half. He cleaved dozens of beast-shaped mountains in order to destroy the great formation sealing the ancient beast and let it come out ahead of time. This great formation has long been changed by the ancient beast bit by bit. Even if it is not destroyed, the ancient beast will come out sooner or later. Furthermore, Qin Yun needs to quickly settle the matter here. If the ancient beast cannot be subdued, then he will exterminate it. If he can successfully subdue it, then he will undoubtedly have a powerful helper. Roar! A loud sound rang out, and the ground below cracked open. The remaining hundreds of mountains collapsed one after another. The ancient beast came out. The hidden Nine Heaven Island Master's heart is filled with extreme fear. For so many years, his Nine Heaven Island has actually sealed such a powerful guy, and he actually did not know about it. Qin Yun did not see the ancient beast, but he can sense that it is very powerful. However, its body is not big, and it is not weaker than Barbarian Emperor. He guessed that the ancient beast's strength is comparable to Barbarian Emperor in peak condition. A flame suddenly rushed over. Qin Yun knew that a powerful force was attacking him, but he was still hit by it. Facing this sudden attack, he was unable to react in time. The Barbarian Emperor's speed was also very fast, but he could still react in time. This guy is fast. Qin Yun could not even see the appearance of the ancient beast and was sent flying. If it were anyone else, they would have been turned into ashes by such a ferocious collision. As for Qin Yun, he was only sent flying. Not only was it fast, the flames were also very powerful. Qin Yun could feel the scorching power penetrating his bones, causing his entire body to feel unbearably hot. My speed is inferior to this fellow, and my strength is inferior as well, but my physical body is strong. Qin Yun immediately determined the strengths and weaknesses of himself and the ancient beasts. The ancient beasts were not as strong as the 9 heavens Dharma spirits. Their speed was also inferior to them. Not long after Qin Yun was sent flying, he felt another scorching heat. Following that, he was struck by a fiery light that came from an unknown direction and was sent flying once again. Next, he was like a ball being hit by the ancient beast from one side to the other, from the other side to the other side. He was hit back and forth hundreds of times. 9 Heaven Island Lord is dumbstruck. He finally understood why the 9 heavens Dharma spirits could not kill Qin Yun. The strength of his body is truly terrifying. Of course, Qin Yun is in pain, but he is not injured. Even he himself is very surprised. It is reasonable to say that the ancient beast's body should be very strong. He was hit back and forth by the ancient beast so many times, yet he is not seriously injured. In fact, the one who is most shocked by the strength of Qin Yun's body is the 9 heavens Dharma spirits who ambushed Qin Yun. At that time, he used a weapon to attack Qin Yun, but did not cause any harm to him. If he knew that Qin Yun was fine after that, and even recovered very quickly and defeated Barbarian Emperor, he would definitely be even more shocked. The ancient beast could only use its speed advantage to hit Qin Yun like a ball, but in the end, it was still unable to defeat Qin Yun. Moreover, if this goes on, the ancient beast will consume a lot of energy, and Qin Yun will not consume any energy. It will just be more painful. Although Barbarian Emperor left the 18-layer space, he is still watching from outside. What should we do next? Are we really going to divide the territories of Daoyuo Empire and Huoling Empire to Qin Yun? Bloodthirsty Barbarian King asked. I will let Heavenly Emperor Huoling and Daoyuo Heavenly Emperor temporarily follow Qin Yun, and let them hide by Qin Yun's side. Barbarian Emperor looked at the 18-layer space and said with a grave expression, if Qin Yun can subdue that ancient beast, it will be very disadvantageous for us. We have to find other helpers as soon as possible, or let you quickly improve. Originally, Barbarian Emperor and 9 heavens Dharma spirits were 2 experts who surpassed the divine space realm. Qin Yun and 9 heavens Dharma spirits were slightly weaker than them, but overall it was still considered balanced. If Qin Yun subdued that beast, this balance would be broken, and it would be very disadvantageous for their new human camp. To maintain the balance, they must increase the number of experts who surpass the divine space realm on their side. Otherwise, they would soon be destroyed. Barbarian Emperor called Luo Ingtian and Heavenly Emperor Huoling over and said a lot to them, mainly to let them temporarily agree to Qin Yun and obey Qin Yun on the surface. Heavenly Emperor Huoling was very dissatisfied with this, but he didn't say anything. Luo Ingtian also pretended to be very dissatisfied, but his heart was very calm. He was just a little impatient. Just as Barbarian Emperor was about to leave, the entrance to the 18-layer space suddenly trembled and a fiery light rushed out from the spatial black hole. Barbarian Emperor and the group of big shots didn't leave. They were all at the entrance to the 18-layer space. The fiery light that shot out like lightning vibrated with an incomparably scorching and powerful aura. Even Barbarian Emperor felt terrified. What shocked them the most was that Qin Yun was actually pushed out by this fiery light. Qin Yun was fighting with that ancient beast. Qin Yun couldn't dodge at all, so even if he was pushed out of the 18-layer space by the ancient beast, he couldn't do anything about it. He could only endure until the ancient beast condition dropped. As long as the ancient beast's speed was a little slower, he would be able to dodge and counterattack. The ancient beast and Qin Yun's battlefield moved from the Nine Heavens Island to the outside. Just as he appeared, Qin Yun was hit dozens of times. Every time Qin Yun collided, he would be hit until a burst of fiery light and flashing explosions would erupt. It was very shocking. Every collision made people's hearts jump, because they kept feeling that Qin Yun would be smashed into pieces in an instant. But after every collision, his body was intact. How in the world did this monster cultivate such a powerful body? Barbarian Emperor was extremely envious. The Nine Heavens Lost Spirits were also very envious of Qin Yun's body back then. Should we take action to help the ancient beast, and then obtain the ancient beast's favorable impression? Heavenly Emperor Huoling suddenly said, I don't have Qin Yun's savage body. If I go over, it's courting death. Barbarian Emperor snorted. That ancient beast is so powerful and has its own thoughts. If we interfere in his battle, the ones he will hit next will be us. How many of these collisions can your body withstand at that time? Heavenly Emperor Huoling's body trembled. How many? Don't talk about how many. He couldn't even withstand one, not even half a time. Chapter 33-37. Barbarian Emperor doesn't plan to continue watching because he doesn't want to fight the ancient beast. From the fight between the ancient beast and Qin Yun, he can see the strength of the ancient beast. Barbarian Emperor doesn't have any weapon, and he is also seriously injured. He is not the ancient beast's match. If you don't want to die, then quickly leave. If the ancient beast kills Qin Yun, then it will turn around and look for other targets. Barbarian Emperor finished speaking and left in a hurry. Other people saw Barbarian Emperor leave and ran away in panic. If they were hit by the ancient beast, they would be smashed to pieces and turned into ashes. Only a monster like Qin Yun would be fine, but they are not Qin Yun. At this moment, they are very clear about Qin Yun's strength. This divine king is not weak at all. Earlier, he defeated Barbarian Emperor, and now he is facing the ancient beast. His strength is truly valiant. Divine Judge and the others are very worried about Qin Yun. They are also outside the 18-layer space and saw the fight between Qin Yun and the ancient beast. Qin Yun saw that they have not left even after a long time and secretly transmitted his voice, telling them to quickly leave this place so that the ancient beast doesn't target them. With the ancient beast's current speed, if it attacks the Divine Judge and the others, it will be very difficult for Qin Yun to stop it. Under Qin Yun's strict warning, the Divine Judge and the others have no choice but to leave immediately. Qin Yun is now feeling dizzy from the collision. He didn't know that he would be knocked out of the 18-layer space. The ancient beast has been sealed for so many years. Being able to run out and immediately leave the 18-layer space, it can be seen that the ancient beast is quite smart. It knows that it is very stuffy inside the 18-layer space. Outside, there is the myriad realm's divine sun. This made the ancient beast even more excited and excited. Its speed and power actually increased a bit. Qin Yun is puzzled. If this continues, his body might not be able to hold on. The ancient beast can't damage his body in a short period of time. If the ancient beast continues to be full of energy, he won't be able to withstand it even with his current strength. What the hell is this guy? Qin Yun still can't clearly see the ancient beast's appearance. Qin Yun, use all your strength to restrain this guy. It seems like it can obtain a lot of energy and replenish it in time. Old brother Taisher said, a war of attrition won't work. Use all your strength to restrain it for a period of time so that you can use heavenly rune characters. Qin Yun is currently unable to circulate his power because he has only just mobilized a little bit. The scorching heat and impact of the ancient beast collision would scatter the immortal power within his body, making it difficult for him to mobilize his strongest power. Was there really no other way? Of course not. Qin Yun still had one more move. He wanted the little ant queen to cooperate. Qin Yun planned to bring the ancient beast into the dark space. In the dark space, Qin Yun had the help of the little ant queen's power. He could teleport like a fish in water. Although the little queen ant was small and looked to be the same size as Momo, her abilities were extremely terrifying. Especially after entering the space, she was like the empress of the dark space. You've been sealed since birth. Now that you can finally come out, I'll bring you to a more fun place. Qin Yun contacted the little ant queen inside the Nine-Sun Divine Soul and told her to prepare for spatial transfer. The little queen ant was already very familiar with this, but it didn't take long for her to start. Spatial transfer only took an instant. At the instant Qin Yun used spatial transfer, the mysterious ancient beast slammed into Qin Yun and entered the dark space with him. After entering the dark space, Qin Yun teleported back and forth. His body didn't need to move at all, so he didn't have any movement trajectory. It was all spatial teleportation, unless there was a powerful force that blocked the spatial passageway or distorted the dark space. However, in the dark space, just having a powerful force was not enough. One also needed to know the operation of the dark space's laws. The little ant queen is very familiar with this law because these spatial Xian ants grew up in this kind of environment. In the dark space, the mysterious ancient beast would also be affected by the strong spatial turbulence, causing its speed to be much slower. If it wanted to move quickly against the spatial turbulence, it would require even more power. This guy is still too tender. If it was anyone else, they would have already opened a passage to escape from the dark space. Qin Yun teleported back and forth, but he still couldn't see the ancient beast's appearance. He could only see a very large ball of fire. The ancient beast was inside the ball of fire, and its body couldn't be seen. That ball of fire seemed to be the ancient beast's eggshell. Just as Qin Yun said, the ancient beast knew very little about this universe. Although it was a mysterious ancient beast born from energy, it didn't know anything about anything in its memories. Qin Yun and Brother Taisher have already joined hands and began to carve heavenly runes. Only heavenly runes could suppress this ancient beast. Although the barbarian emperor left, he arranged for people to observe the battlefield from afar using magic mirrors. The magic mirrors they were using now were all their own magic mirror formation base, and were only used by them internally. In the Divine Desolate, whether it was inside the Nine Suns sacred land or outside, most of the magic mirrors used were controlled by the Myriad Realms' divine court. It was very difficult for other powers to interfere. Furthermore, their magic mirror formation was often disturbed and destroyed by others. Entered the dark space? So that's how it is. Qin Yun fought with the Nine Heavens Lost Spirit and finally escaped into the dark space. That's why we thought that his body had been destroyed. Although the barbarian emperor couldn't see it clearly from the magic mirror, he could deduce it. How did Qin Yun do it? It's very difficult to enter the dark space now. It's many times more difficult than before. Without enough strength, it's impossible to open the entrance, and once you fall into the dark space, it's very easy to be swept away by the spatial turbulence. The bloodthirsty barbarian king said in shock, I don't know. Qin Yun's mastery of space far exceeds our imagination. He was the one who created the demonic mirror. Previously, it was transferred from the great Luo Empire to his own hands without anyone noticing. Furthermore, he has many mysterious and difficult-to-block teleportation formations. The barbarian emperor said with a frown, competing with Qin Yun, not only do we have to compete with strength, we also have to compete with other techniques. If we can't keep up, we will be left behind by him. The barbarian emperor felt even more stifled because compared to Qin Yun, he couldn't compare in any way. No wonder the Nine Heavens Island Master said that other than Qin Yun, the Divine King, he wouldn't recognize anyone else in the Divine Desolate. In the dark space, Qin Yun used many seal, heavenly rune characters, and finally sealed the fireball. This ancient beast is very strong. Although it is very violent, it is not bad. Previously, when it charged at Qin Yun, it was as if it was challenging an expert. On the contrary, Qin Yun felt that the ancient beast was somewhat mischievous, like a child who loved to cause trouble. Therefore, he wanted to subdue this ancient beast. That's not right. This outer shell should be its true seal. This seal was naturally formed, right? Old Brother Taisher said. No wonder it couldn't come out. It was sealed. If it was unsealed, wouldn't it be even stronger? Qin Yun said in astonishment. He wanted to chat with more like-minded people about. $article_title. WeChat followed Yudu literature to chat about life and find a bosom friend. Chapter 33-38. Qin Yun opened his heavenly eye and tried to see through the outer shell. He wanted to see what kind of ancient beast it is, but he still could not see clearly. Can you see what it is? Can't you see through it? Old Brother Taisher asked. He also wants to know what kind of divine beast it is. Qin Yun saw that the huge mountain used to seal the ancient beast gradually turned into a mixture of qilin and dragon. So he became even more curious. I can see through it, but I can't see what kind of beast it is. It's really strange. Everyone says it's an ancient beast. Why can't I see its shape? Qin Yun also felt that it is very strange. He could clearly see through the strange outer shell, but he could only see a ball of something inside. Ancient beast is also what the universe lost spirit said, right? At that time, only the universe lost spirit could clearly see what was going on. Old Brother Taisher said, maybe it's not an ancient beast. What? I've been tossing and turning for so long. If it's not an ancient beast, but some other dangerous thing, wouldn't that be troublesome? Qin Yun looked at the fireball in front of him and suddenly felt worried. For the ancient beast, he had paid a great price. Moreover, he was filled with expectations for this ancient beast. He hoped to rely on this ancient beast to increase their camp strength. This is the dark space. Even if a dangerous thing is released, there should be no need to worry. Old Brother Taisher said, the dark space has become a lot stronger now. It's still very difficult to break through the restraints of the dark space. It is also because Qin Yun has the little ant queen's help that he can easily enter and exit the dark space. Yangshu Yu also used 2 space Xian ants to refine avatars, but she was unable to enter the dark space. Alright, let's see what kind of outer shell this is and how to break it. This thing can seal that ancient beast for so many years, it's definitely not simple. Qin Yun used the primal beginning divine mirror to get close to the outer shell. The fireball has already been sealed and has become very stable. Furthermore, the energy aura has already been suppressed. Qin Yun can now completely approach it. After a series of tests, Old Brother Taisher said in astonishment, this outer shell has the material of the divine sun blood seeds, outer shell. Qin Yun is very clear about how powerful the material of the divine sun blood seeds, outer shell, is. At most, he can only pierce a hole and extract the divine sun blood seeds liquid. The 1-meter-tall fireball's outer shell in front of him is actually made of divine sun blood seeds material. How many divine sun blood seeds are needed to form this? It seems that the thing inside is really not simple. Qin Yun took a deep breath. He did not know if he should open it or not. Of course, the premise was that he could open it. The reason why the thing inside is so powerful is probably because of this special shell. But the things inside are definitely not simple. Old Brother Taisher said, now we have to think about how to open this outer shell. Following that, Qin Yun and Old Brother Taisher began discussing. Barbarian Sovereign was very concerned about Qin Yun's matter. In his own mansion, he was in a grand array. With great difficulty, he managed to contact the 9 Heavens Dharma spirit. He immediately told the 9 Heavens Lost Spirit about Qin Yun. When the 9 Heavens Lost Spirit heard this, he seemed to be very shocked, so he didn't say anything for a long time. Barbarian Emperor waited for a long time before asking. 9 Heavens Lost Spirit, after Qin Yun subdued the ancient beast, his strength will definitely increase greatly. The balance will be broken. Don't worry, that thing is very dangerous. Moreover, Qin Yun might not be able to tame it. It was better to leave such an unstable thing to Qin Yun and the others. We really need to increase our manpower to maintain the balance. Nine Heavens Lost Spirit said. The Universe Lost Spirit did a lot of experiments back then, a total of about 100 people. He will help us find more helpers. Those are the most stable ones. After Barbarian Emperor heard this, he is secretly happy, but at the same time, he is also somewhat worried, because he is afraid that he will not be a match for the new ally and then be trampled on by the new ally. Is there any news of the new ally? Barbarian Emperor asked. Yes, go and look for it. It's in the depths of the universe, but with your ability, you should be able to find it very quickly. Nine Heavens Lost Spirit said. Oh right, did you and Nine Heavens Lost Spirit decide the victor? Barbarian Emperor asked. We are evenly matched. Right now we are still fighting, no one can leave. Therefore, I will give you full authority to handle the matters in the Divine Desolate. Nine Heavens Lost Spirit warned. Pay attention, you must not clash head-on with Qin Yun. With his current strength, you will definitely not be able to defeat him. Nine Heavens Lost Spirit previously said that Barbarian Emperor is not Qin Yun's match, and now he is even more certain. Barbarian Emperor suffered a blow once again, but he also admitted it. I know you don't feel good in your heart. Actually, I also don't feel good in my heart. Qin Yun will definitely surpass me in the future. The premise is that he is still alive. As long as he is given time and opportunity, his future is limitless. Nine Heavens Law Spirit sighed. Why can't we walk the same path? Why do we have to be enemies with him? Barbarian Emperor asked helplessly. Not only does he not want to be enemies with Qin Yun, he even wants to ask Qin Yun for guidance on cultivation. If you have the chance, you can ask the Universe Lost Spirit. I don't know how to answer this question. Nine Heavens Law Spirit sighed and said, You should go find an ally now. Barbarian Emperor can only do it. He knows that everything he is doing now is arranged by the Universe Lost Spirit. Nine Heavens Lost Spirit is also acting according to the directions of the Universe Lost Spirit. Now, Barbarian Emperor finally understands why Qin Yun wants to walk his own path. Even if his own path has no direction and is bumpy, at least he can walk it clearly. Qin Yun and old brother Taisha discussed for a long time, but did not come up with a good method. In the end, they could only decide to do the same thing as extracting the Divine Sun Blood Seed. Condense the formidable Nether Sun power into a needle and pierce it first. Piercing through the outer layer of the Divine Sun Blood Seed is not a difficult task for Qin Yun. He is already very familiar with this process. However, what he is facing now is not the Divine Sun Blood Seed, but the outer wall that is sealing a formidable ancient beast. After breaking through, it is unknown what kind of danger he will face. Qin Yun, it would be best if you can communicate with this guy in advance. This guy's nature is not bad. It's just that because he has been sealed for too long, he has become rather irritable. He has been sealed for so long, most of the time he has been sleeping and he has very little contact with the outside world. He should still be relatively naive and pure. Old brother Taisha said, Nine Heavens Island Master can communicate with ancient beasts, but it is somewhat difficult to do so. Qin Yun immediately began trying to communicate with ancient beasts. He released formidable mental power to make contact with the ancient beast's mind. Communication is indeed rather difficult. The main reason is that the ancient beast's thinking is rather strange. However, Qin Yun can still understand the ancient beast's meaning. What surprised Qin Yun is that this ancient beast is indeed a beast. He said that he is not a human. He only wants to quickly go out and kill the guy who sealed him. He doesn't want to harm anyone else. And Qin Yun's body has a familiar aura. It is very similar to the Universe Lost Spirit that sealed him. That is why he attacked Qin Yun so crazily. After communicating, the ancient beast actually doesn't know what form he is in. Chapter 33-39. Qin Yun doesn't understand what kind of ancient beast this is. It doesn't know what he is. It only knows that he is an ancient beast. Although it is difficult to communicate with ancient beasts, Qin Yun can feel that ancient beasts are easy to get along with. The ancient beast said that Qin Yun has the same power aura as the Universe Lost Spirit. This point made Qin Yun very concerned. He really wants to understand why the universe lost spirit has the same power aura as him. It must be known that Qin Yun's breakthrough is something he fumbled through by himself. It is a unique path. If other people want to be like him, they must have the same experience as him and meet all kinds of harsh conditions. Qin Yun's experience and conditions are impossible for others to achieve. How can they have the same cultivation path as him? The ancient beast's expression is not clear enough. Qin Yun is still unable to determine what the same aura is. Right now, the only thing he could do was to get the ancient beasts out and improve their communication skills. Only then would he be able to understand more. Qin Yun loathes the universe lost spirit from the bottom of his heart. He doesn't want to walk the same path as the universe lost spirit. Knowing that his aura is somewhat similar to the universe lost spirit, it makes him feel very uncomfortable. The ancient beast promised Qin Yun that it will not resist and will do its best to cooperate with Qin Yun. After exchanging pointers with Qin Yun, the ancient beast realized that Qin Yun is very strong and was finally sealed by Qin Yun. Qin Yun began mobilizing the Nether Sun's power, condensed it into a needle, and pierced the hard outer shell. The ancient beast said that if the outer shell is pierced, it might be able to let him out. Of course, Qin Yun doesn't completely believe the ancient beast's guarantee. He also has a trick up his sleeve. If the ancient beast comes out to cause trouble, he will let Little Ant Queen immediately use it. Little Ant Queen can quickly teleport with Qin Yun in the dark space. The ancient beast won't be able to do anything to him. The toughness of the outer shell is much stronger than Qin Yun imagined. Although it looks the same as the outer shell of the divine Sunblood race, it is actually thicker and stronger. This outer shell is naturally formed. If I can obtain it and make it into armor, adding my powerful body, wouldn't my defense be super strong? No one can touch me. Qin Yun is very excited just thinking about it. If he has this set of equipment, he might be able to defeat the 9 Heavens lost spirit again. After more than half a day, Qin Yun's super strong Nether Sun power finally pierced through the outer shell. After piercing it, Qin Yun cannot immediately pull out the needle. Otherwise, the small hole will immediately heal by itself. At this moment, Qin Yun's communication with the ancient beast became even smoother. I'm just energy. You can transfer me out through this small hole. The ancient beast said, "Hurry up, I want to go out and take revenge." Qin Yun felt that the reason why ancient beasts were strong was mainly because of their outer shells. Without their outer shells, their strength would definitely be much weaker than before. The ancient beast's target of vengeance was the universe lost spirit. He couldn't even defeat the 9 Heavens lost spirit, much less the universe lost spirit. Qin Yun needs the ancient beast as a new ally, so he will do his best to help the ancient beast break the seal. Ancient beasts still have no form. They're just energy. This made Qin Yun feel very mystical. This kind of energy is also very different from the divine Sunblood Seed elixir. Qin Yun extracted the ancient beast's energy bit by bit from the large flame ball. Originally, he thought that after extracting the energy, it would be very stable. Who would have thought that it would be very weak? After all, this is a dark space. In order to prevent the energy from dissipating, Qin Yun can only take out the pill transformation heavenly furnace and gather the ancient beast's energy inside to prevent it from dissipating. The process of extracting energy is very long. During the extraction process, Qin Yun's Nether Sun consumes a lot of energy. After 2 days, he has extracted a lot of energy, but he still has not finished. My Nether Sun's consumption is not small. If this guy doesn't bring me any substantial benefits and directly goes to fight the universe lost spirit, I will suffer a great loss. Qin Yun began calculating how to prevent the ancient beast from throwing away its life. The ancient beast is now in slumber. Qin Yun cannot discuss with it. He can only continue. If I can't subdue this ancient beast, or if it comes out and directly goes to fight the universe lost spirit, it will be equivalent to losing the ancient beast. Old Brother Taishur said, "But that outer shell is a good thing. At least it won't cause you to suffer a great loss." Qin Yun looked at the outer shell and felt very happy in his heart. After the ancient beast comes out, it will definitely not want the outer shell. It will belong to him. As long as he can use it well and refine it into protective gear, it will be equivalent to having a great help. He tossed and turned inside the dark space for 6 days and finally completely extracted the ancient beast's energy and gathered it inside the pill transformation heavenly furnace. The ancient beast that has turned into a ball also gradually woke up. This is my precious divine tool. Don't break it. I released you out of kindness. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. The ancient beast on Qin Yun's horse said, I won't cause any damage. Just let me out. I want to find the guy who sealed me and take revenge. The ancient beast is actually very calm. Qin Yun released the ancient beast. The ancient beast is still a ball of energy. Just as Qin Yun expected, after the ancient beast left the outer shell, its strength dropped by a lot. It is far from being as strong as inside the outer shell. This guy actually became so weak after leaving the outer shell, it might as well stay inside the outer shell. Qin Yun looked at the ball of energy and thought in his heart, quickly bring me out of this damn place. The ancient beast's voice came out. What the hell are you? Qin Yun is no longer afraid of the ancient beast. He asked, can you take revenge with your current strength? There is no one I can't kill. Bring me out of this damn place. I will immediately find that bastard. The ancient beast is very anxious and urged Qin Yun. Do you still want this thing? Qin Yun pointed at the outer shell. What do I want this damn thing for? Quickly take it away. I hate this thing to death. I don't want to see this thing again. The ancient beast's angry voice came out. Qin Yun immediately put away the outer shell. He is extremely happy in his heart. Even if the ancient beast is finished, as long as he can obtain this outer shell, he will not suffer a loss. After obtaining the outer shell, Qin Yun brought the ancient beast out of the dark space. After arriving at the Divine Desolate, the ancient beast trembled and released a very strong soul fluctuation. It is currently sensing the universe lost spirit. That bastard is not here. After sensing for a while, the ancient beast very angrily said, Qin Yun is watching from the side. He also wants to see how the ancient beast can find the universe lost spirit. It would be best if he can find it. He also wants to find the universe lost spirit now. Are you going to fight the universe lost spirit like this? Qin Yun asked. That guy is called universe lost spirit? The ancient beast said in cold voice. Don't worry. I will use my strongest form to kill him. I will transform right now. After he finished speaking, the ball of energy began fluctuating and gradually turned into a golden horse. Qin Yun is very surprised. This ancient beast is actually a horse. Chapter 33:40. When Qin Yun saw the ancient beast transform into a horse, he is greatly astonished. He previously thought that ancient beasts don't have a physical body. Now that it has transformed into a horse, it seems like its body is very strong. Is this your form? Qin Yun asked. What you saw before is my true form. This form is my strongest form. The ancient beast replied very seriously. This caused Qin Yun to be somewhat dumbfounded. The previous form was the ancient beast's form, but it was not its strongest form. After transforming into a horse, it became even stronger. This is its strongest form? Can I touch you? Qin Yun is truly curious. He wants to see how strong the ancient beast's body is. Sure. The ancient beast did not refuse. He knows that Qin Yun is very capable, otherwise he would not have been able to save him. Qin Yun touched the ancient beast's back and probed its body. He discovered that it contains an astonishing power. However, this power seems somewhat strange, as if it is being suppressed. That 9 Heaven Island Master has a divine sun blood seed. I want to go find him. The ancient beast hissed, and then like a horse, it rushed towards the entrance of the 18-layer space. Qin Yun can only follow behind. He wants to understand a bit more about this ancient beast. After all, ancient beasts evolve from a special energy body and can be considered a divine sun blood seed. This guy has a very formidable power inside his body that hasn't been excavated yet, just like me. Qin Yun is certain that the ancient beast is very strong. This kind of strength should be able to fight evenly with Barbarian Emperor. It is worth roping him in. 9 Heaven Island Master is still inside the 18-layer space. He is very flustered. After Qin Yun and the ancient beast left, although 9 Heaven Island Master is not that nervous, he is still very uneasy. 9 Heaven Island is still inside the 18-layer space. Now, there is no one else except for 9 Heaven Island Master. This kind of silence makes him feel very uncomfortable. He is still tightly holding the divine sun blood seed Qin Yun gave him, waiting for Qin Yun to return. Suddenly, he heard the long neigh of a horse and sensed a familiar aura. He knows that the ancient beast has returned. The appearance of the ancient beast caused 9 Heaven Island Master to be very surprised, because the ancient beast form is actually a horse. 9 Heaven Island Master does not know what the ancient beast experienced to come out. He only knows that the ancient beast is very strong and might have even defeated Qin Yun. Qin Yun returned with the ancient beast. 9 Heaven's Island Lord felt relieved when he saw that Qin Yun was fine. He was worried that Qin Yun would be killed by the ancient beasts. He recognized Qin Yun as the divine king, and at present, only Qin Yun could protect 9 Heaven's Island from being invaded by barbarian sovereign and the others. Where is your divine sun blood seed? Give it to me. My blood can help you cultivate a strong body. This is our agreement. You can't go back on your word. The ancient beast said to 9 Heaven's Island Lord. The ancient beast's communication abilities had improved greatly. This was mainly due to Qin Yun's guidance. Qin Yun had injected many communication methods into the ancient beast's souls. This is for you. 9 Heaven Island Master saw Qin Yun nod and then handed over the divine sun blood seed to the ancient beast. This was a transaction between the ancient beast and 9 Heaven's Island Lord. Qin Yun only watched from the side and did not ask any questions. He really wanted to see what the blood of an ancient beast was like. He wanted to see if it could really allow the 9 Heaven's Island Lord to cultivate a powerful body. The ancient beast opened its mouth and swallowed the divine sun blood seed. It said, "This is great. I'm going to look for even stronger beasts. I want to become even stronger." What? You can transform? Qin Yun asked in amazement. I need a certain amount of energy to activate my innate ability to record every aspect of a beast. Then I can transform into that beast. The ancient beast said, "I can only transform like this now, so this is my strongest form." Qin Yun understood that this ancient beast is a phantom beast. Moreover, it can not only transform into appearance, it can also control the strongest power of beast transformation, as well as all kinds of aura and divine beast inheritance. This is indeed very awesome. You eat a divine sun blood seed, and you'll get a chance to record, right? Qin Yun asked. It seems like it, but I can't be sure when the next opportunity will appear. I need to cultivate and become stronger. The ancient beast said, "That's why I want to find even stronger beasts here and learn from them. Leave this to me. I know many powerful beasts. When the time comes, you can choose from them and learn from them." Qin Yun said, "That's great. After I become stronger, I will definitely repay you." The ancient beast seems very happy. This blood, 9 Heaven Island Master shouted in low voice. The ancient beast looked at Qin Yun and said, "Help me bleed." Qin Yun took out the saber he got from Barbarian Emperor. Without this saber, he might not be able to cut open the ancient beast's skin. He tossed and turned for a long time before finally cutting open the horse's leg and began bleeding. "How much?" Qin Yun asked. "As much as you can. I can recover on my own." The ancient beast is very generous. Qin Yun took out a spatial bottle to receive the blood. He also secretly took a bit to study. After more than half an hour, the ancient beast turned into a ball of energy, meaning that the blood has been lost. Qin Yun also collected a large amount of blood and handed it over to 9 Heaven Island Master. 9 Heaven Island Master is very grateful, but he doesn't know how to use this bottle of blood. The ancient beast also doesn't know. Moreover, it has already fallen asleep. Only after it recovers can it turn back into a horse. Nine Heaven Island Master can only ask Qin Yun for help. I studied it. The ancient beast blood is very special. It is indeed enough for you to condense a powerful body. As for how strong it will be, I can't be sure. Qin Yun took out the pill transformation heavenly furnace. He plans to use it to refine the blood, let the blood grow flesh and bones, and refine a body. This is feasible, but he needs to add a lot of things. This is not difficult for Qin Yun. What made Qin Yun excited is that the ancient beast blood is so powerful. It means that it can create many powerful bodies that can surpass the divine space realm and form a body similar to Luo Yingtian's. At that time, Nine Heaven Island Master will also be on their side. With such an expert, they will have more confidence when facing the new beginning human camp in the future. Therefore, even if Nine Heaven Island Master didn't say anything, Qin Yun would definitely help him because such an ally is too important. Qin Yun immediately found a quiet place and let the ancient beast wait for him. Then he asked Nine Heaven Island Master to bring over a large amount of divine universe golden rocks. This requires a lot of energy. Nine Heaven Island has a lot of divine universe golden rocks. It is enough for Qin Yun to carry out. If it is only Nine Heaven Island Master's soul that absorbs the blood, then the body that grows will indeed be very strong, but it will not reach the primordial origin realm. In order to reach the primordial origin realm, he needs some divine sun blood seed liquid. Qin Yun asked Nine Heaven Island Master to bring over a large amount of divine universe golden rocks because he wants to duplicate and create the divine sun blood seed. He wants to chat with like-minded people about $_title. WeChat follows Yudu literature, chat about life, find a bosom friend. Chapter 3341. The Nine Heavens Island was once a subordinate of the universe law spirit and helped it do many things, so it definitely has a lot of resources. Now that it has come to the divine desolate and has a good relationship with the Nine Sun law spirit, it will definitely obtain a lot of resources. Qin Yun also wants to take this opportunity to get a few more divine universe golden stones from the Nine Heavens Island to create a divine sun blood seed. The Nine Heavens Island Master is in a hurry to cultivate a body. As long as Qin Yun can help him, he will definitely give a generous reward. Qin Yun took out the Nine Sun Heaven Raising Pagoda and entered it. The Nine Heavens Island Master let a few avatars use divine universe golden stones to come over. He indeed has a lot of divine universe golden stones. Creating a divine sun blood seed requires about 5 trillion, and the Nine Heavens Island Master needs at least 6. Nine Heavens Island Master. If you only want to cultivate a more ordinary body, you don't need to use the divine sun blood seed. Qin Yun said to the Nine Heavens Island Master inside the Nine Sun Heaven Raising Pagoda, if you want a stronger body, you need the divine sun blood seed. The Nine Heavens Island Master's face is filled with bitterness as he said, Divine King, how can I still have the divine sun blood seed? Who doesn't want to have a stronger body? But the conditions don't allow it. How about this? I still have some divine sun blood seeds, but you know that they are very precious. Qin Yun said, his meaning is very clear. How do you want to exchange them? The Nine Heavens Island Master hurriedly asked. He naturally knows that divine sun blood seeds are very precious, especially good ones. They can only be found by chance and not sought. These divine sun blood seeds are priceless and can only be exchanged with things of equal value. How about this? Give me 5 trillion divine universe golden stones. I need these divine universe golden stones to do other things. I can't gather them in a short period of time. If you can give them to me, I will use the divine sun blood seed to help you cultivate an even stronger body. Qin Yun said, you have been in the divine desolate for so long. You should know how much 5 trillion divine universe golden stones are, right? The Nine Heavens Island was probably the most powerful among the Grand Primes. As a result, they had already found many ownerless, treasured lands in the Nine Sun sacred ground a long time ago, and then collected large quantities of divine universe gold stones. As a result, the Nine Heavens Island was extremely rich. 5 trillion? That won't be a problem. Nine Heavens Island Lord agreed without hesitation. However, he was rather surprised. Firstly, he wanted to know what Qin Yun needed so many Divine Universe Golden Stones for. Secondly, he could actually use Divine Universe Golden Stones to exchange for the Divine Sunblood Seed. This was simply too profitable. Qin Yun also realized that it was not easy for him to obtain large amounts of Divine Universe Goldstones. Even a Myriad Worlds Divine Palace could only obtain a few 100 billion Divine Universe Goldstones from other powerful clans every month. That was used to maintain the Divine Palace's operations. If he wanted to obtain a large number of Divine Universe Golden Stones, he could only rob the major forces in the Nine Sun Sacred Ground. A major faction like Nine Heavens Island possessed tens of trillions of Divine Universe Golden Stones, and there were hundreds of trillions of them that had yet to be mined. After all, Divine Universe Goldstone was a special energy crystal that had many uses. Moreover, it was concentrated in some treasure lands and was very easy to obtain. Many large factions wanted to collect it. As Qin Yun refined the ancient beast's blood, he created the Divine Sunblood Seed. Then he extracted the Divine Sunblood Seed liquid and injected it into the ancient beast's blood. Nine Heavens Island Lord also watched from the side. He could only see Qin Yun extract the Divine Sunblood Seed liquid and inject it into the ancient beast's blood. Nine Heavens Island Lord could not let Nine Heavens Island Lord know, nor could he let the ancient beast know. Otherwise, the ancient beast would definitely pester him. He only needed to let the ancient beast know that he had the Divine Sunblood Seed. If the ancient beast needed the Divine Sunblood Seed liquid, it would definitely follow him. Nine Heavens Island Lord exclaimed repeatedly from the side. The process of Qin Yun extracting the Divine Sunblood Seed liquid made him sigh with emotion. Otherwise, even if he had the Divine Sunblood Seed, he would not be able to extract the liquid. Ancient beasts could directly devour the Divine Sunblood Seed and refine the liquid inside. Therefore, Qin Yun was very curious about ancient beasts. He hoped to keep them by his side and study them in the future. Qin Yun received the Divine Universe Goldstones from Nine Heavens Island Lord's many avatars one after another. In total, he only used 30 trillion and left 20 trillion for himself as compensation. He was also afraid of emptying Nine Heavens Island Lord. Otherwise, he would have asked for more. After all, Nine Heavens Island was a large faction. If it was emptied, this large faction would be crippled. Qin Yun needed Nine Heavens Island to join the Myriad Realms Divine Court. After a few days, Qin Yun refined a body for Nine Heavens Island Lord. It had the appearance of a middle-aged man. Next, Nine Heavens Island Lord's soul entered the body and began to fuse with it. In order to perfectly fuse the soul and body, Qin Yun even used the mysterious fusion Heavenly Rune to help. Qin Yun also told Nine Heavens Island Lord about the Origin Returning Realm. Although this body had also returned to the Origin Returning Realm, it was far weaker than Qin Yun's. Furthermore, Nine Heavens Island Lord's cultivation path was also very different from Qin Yun's. This required Nine Heavens Island Lord to comprehend by himself. Nine Heavens Island Lord was very excited. He could feel that his cultivation path was very different from Barbarian Emperor's. Moreover, if he were to face Barbarian Emperor, even if he could not defeat him, he would not be as cowardly as a dog. Nine Heavens Island must cooperate with the Myriad Realms Divine Court. We are now allies. Qin Yun said, "That's for sure. We will definitely cooperate with the Myriad Realms Divine Court." Nine Heavens Island Lord naturally agreed. Following Qin Yun was better than following the Universe Lost Spirit. He had been begging the Universe's Lost Spirit for a long time, hoping to obtain a powerful body. However, the Universe's Lost Spirit had always been perfunctory, leading to his betrayal. "I will ask the Myriad Realms Divine Court to send someone over," Qin Yun said. "By the way, you should be very familiar with the situation of the various factions in the Nine Sun Sacred Ground, right? Help me get a map. I need a large amount of Divine Universe Goldstones." I plan on going over to their side to take a look. Nine Heavens Island Lord understood Qin Yun's intentions. Even if Qin Yun wanted to snatch the Divine Universe Goldstones from the New Dawn human camp, he did not say anything. All he did was smile and promise that he would quickly prepare a map for Qin Yun so that he could obtain the Divine Universe Goldstones himself. Qin Yun felt that this was a great opportunity. Barbaric Sovereign was no match for him. The Nine Heavens Dharma Spirit was not around, and the universe's Dharma Spirit had yet to appear. As a godly monarch, he could do as he pleased in the gods' wilderness. He should take advantage of this opportunity to reap some benefits. Otherwise, if the Nine Heavens Dharma Spirits and the universe Dharma Spirits were able to free themselves in the future, he wouldn't have much of a chance. Qin Yun might not be able to handle this kind of matter by himself, so he thought of a person. I don't know if I can contact you, M.A. I haven't seen her for a long time. How much stronger has she become? I need her big sister to take action. Qin Yun is very experienced in this aspect, but Xiao Yuanmei is even more proficient in it. When the time comes, Qin Yun will mainly be fighting, so someone will have to move the Divine Universe Goldstones. Qin Yun bid farewell to Nine Heavens Island Lord and then left Nine Heavens Island. The ancient beast that transformed into a ball of energy also flew out with Qin Yun. Although the ancient beast is simple and naive, its sense of smell is very sensitive. It knows that Qin Yun has Divine Sun blood seed. So even if Qin Yun didn't say anything, the ancient beast will still follow Qin Yun. I want to chat with like-minded people about. $article_title. We chat followed. You read literature, chat about life, find bosom friends. Chapter 3342. Qin Yun has been waiting for the ninth Divine Sun to come into being and for Xiao Yuelon to come find him. However, ever since he contacted Xiao Yuelon last time, there's been no news of her. He also doesn't know when the ninth Divine Sun will come out. The formation of the ninth Divine Sun was very complicated. Qin Yun could roughly guess that there were many factions involved in it. For example, the universe's Dharma Spirits and the Nine Heavens Dharma Spirits. They might even be involved. As for the specific situation, Qin Yun still did not have a clear grasp of it. Now, he planned to contact Xiao Yuelon and ask if he could get Xiao Yuanmei to come over. Nine Heavens Island Lord was still in Nine Heavens Island. He was now gathering the people of Nine Heavens Island. Previously, the people on Nine Heavens Island were worried that the ancient beast would be affected, so they were ordered to leave Nine Heavens Island and seek refuge. Now that Nine Heavens Island was safe, they could return. Outside, the ancient beast was still in the form of a mass of energy. Qin Yun, you said that you will bring me to see some powerful beasts. When are we going? Asked the ancient beast. Are you in a hurry? Qin Yun also has powerful beasts. For example, the heavenly lion and dragon he cultivated are very powerful beasts. Another example is Yang Yang, the nine-heaven vermilion bird. However, he didn't plan on letting the ancient beasts record them because they were all his and they were rather special. After that, he chatted with the ancient beast in detail about the transmogrification ability and learned that the transmogrification was very thorough. For example, as long as an ancient beast came into contact with a dragon and recorded it, then transformed it, it would be able to obtain the inheritance of the dragon race. It might even be able to develop a powerful dragon race's power and evolve into an even more powerful ability. As for the specifics, Ancient Beast couldn't say for sure. All it knew was that it had come into contact with a horse, and after becoming one, its power had increased significantly. Qin Yun released the nine-sun heaven-raising pagoda near the 18th layer space and contacted Xiao Yuelon from the top of the pagoda. He and Xiao Yuelon are secretly contacting each other. They don't even need the magic mirror to avoid being eavesdropped by the other nine-sun divine maiden. For example, in order to protect Qin Yun, Siekaru and the others did not want him to participate in the matter of the ninth divine Sunday. Therefore, Xiao Yuelon contacted Qin Yun behind their backs. Xiao Yun, I can't leave during this period of time. I have to be with them. Xiao Yuelan had always wanted to look for Qin Yin. She missed her little husband very much. Her voice was filled with longing and hidden bitterness. Yuelan, I originally needed you and Yuamei's help, but since you can't come out, forget it. Qin Yin also lightly sighed. Is it something big? Then let's think of a way to sneak out. What's so important about it? Oh, right. Nine Heavens Lost Spirit said that you were crippled by him. How are you now? But I heard from Sister Shangyun in Guanghan Palace that you are fine now. Xiao Yuelan knows that Qin Yin is very strong, so she is not worried that Qin Yin will be killed by the Nine Heavens Lost Spirit. After coming out of the dark space, he contacted the Guanghan Palace and sent a message to Nangong Shiru and Little Phoenix to let them know that he is fine. How could that guy cripple me? On the other hand, one of his subordinates was so scared by a few of my moves that he peed his pants. Qin Yin chuckled and then recounted his fight with the barbarian emperor. In front of Xiao Yuelan, he still likes to brag. Xiao Yuelan is very happy to hear this and said with a smile, It seems like my family Xiao Yun is becoming stronger and stronger. Sister Karu is really always protecting you like a little brother. By the way, how's the situation with the ninth divine son? Asked Qin Yin. A3. Don't mention it. The birth of the ninth divine son has been delayed. First, it was the Nine Heavens Lost Spirit who came to obstruct us. Then it was the Universe Lost Spirit. In short, if we cooperate with the Nine Heavens Lost Spirit and fight them, even if we can temporarily suppress them, once the ninth divine son is born, it will be another fierce battle. Xiao Yuelan sighed and said, She now knows why Qin Yin asked them for help. He wants to take this opportunity to plunder the divine universe golden stones from the new human camp. The Nine Heavens Lost Spirit and the Universe Lost Spirit can't leave now. It is indeed a good opportunity to fish up a lot. Too bad I can't leave, otherwise this kind of thing would be the most suitable for me. I love doing this kind of thing the most. Xiao Yuelan said with evil smile. She is a very violent woman. Am I temporarily invincible in the Nine Sun Holy Land? Qin Yin said with smile. It seems like I will have to quickly flatten the new human camp and make them suffer a great loss in vitality. Xiao Yin, don't forget about the Universe God race and the Divine Sun descendants. These guys were set up by the Universe Lost Spirit a long time ago, mainly to deal with you and the Nine Sun Lost Spirit. Xiao Yuelan warned. So, you must be more careful. It's fine if you want to flatten those powers, but it's best if you take away the Divine Universe Golden Stones you need first. Qin Yin understood Xiao Yuelan's meaning. She wants him to not make too much of a commotion and obtain as much Divine Universe Golden Stones as possible so that he won't lose too many opportunities after the new humans react. He doesn't know much about the situation of the Universe God race and the Divine Sun descendants. If he attacked the new human camp, it would arouse their vigilance, and it would be very difficult to snatch their Divine Universe Golden Stones. I can't find a good helper for this kind of operation. The Myriad Realms Divine Court also has a lot of things to do, and I don't want to use the Myriad Realms Divine Court to do these things. Qin Yin said, The Myriad Realms Divine Court has to maintain a positive image in the Divine Desolate, so Qin Yin can't let them do dirty work. Xiao Yin, how about this? I'll ask Yuamei again and see if she has any way to get out. If she goes out, you can go with her to the Four Divine Sons Divine Moon race and find the Divine Moon race's kings or sister Shangyun to ask them for help. Xiao Yuelan said with smile, Don't forget, you are the Divine Moon Emperor. Don't be embarrassed to ask. No, this kind of thing is too dangerous. Qin Yin doesn't want to mobilize the Divine Moon race's women. It's not dangerous. You still don't know enough about the Divine Moon race. Besides, if we take action, it will definitely be an elite group. Xiao Yuelan said, Then it's settled. I'll give you news later. You go to the Four Divine Sons Guanghan Palace first. It's not that Qin Yin doesn't have any good helpers. He's just worried that they aren't strong enough. However, he wants to obtain a large amount of Divine Universe Golden Stones as soon as possible, so he can only go talk to his old friends. He didn't immediately go to the Four Divine Sons Guanghan Palace. Instead, he went to the Fifth Divine Sun Day. The Fifth Divine Sun has the Nine Sun Kuan Peng, and Imperial Demon Yao is also there. Yes, she and her Kuan Peng occupied an entire divine Sunday. Qin Yin doesn't know how strong the nine-sun Kuan Peng is now. He planned to bring the ancient beast over and see if it could transform into a nine-sun Kuan Peng. If the nine-sun Kuan Peng and Imperial Demon strength allowed it, then he would pull them onto the boat to work. The ancient beast could transform into a nine-sun Kuan Peng. Even if two nine-sun Kuan Peng came out, they could quickly swallow the divine universe golden stones under the treasure land. Mobile users, please visit Chapter 3343. Qin Yin headed for the fifth divine Sunday. He did not know if he could enter because the nine suns Dharma spirit had previously forbidden him from entering the core of each divine Sunday. It also forbade him from borrowing the power of the myriad realms divine Sunday. Later, because of his close relationship with the four godsons, he was able to enter the four godsons and borrow the power of the four godsons. As for the situation of the other godsons, he was still unclear. What he could be sure of was that he could not borrow the power of the other divine sons of the 10,000 realms, but it was much better than before. I should be able to enter the core of the other myriad realms divine sun now. The nine suns lost spirit needs my help to get rid of the descendants of the divine sun. If I can't enter the core of the divine sun, then I can't do anything. Qin Yin was rapidly flying towards Diwu Divine Sunday. He had originally planned on using teleportation to quickly arrive, but considering that there might be an ambush there, he cautiously flew over. The ancient beast followed behind him, still in its energy form, not in the form of a horse. The main reason was because he had lost too much blood before, and even now, he still hadn't recovered. As he flew towards the fifth divine sun, the ancient beast asked, Qin Yin, are you going to enter the core of the divine sun? Yes, why? Qin Yin is rather curious about ancient beasts because ancient beasts are born from energy bodies. The energy body was a realm that could only be reached after the divine sun continuously evolved. The divine sun that could transform into an energy body was a super divine sun that evolved into a super nether Sunday. Then after the super nether sun swallowed energy for many years, it would evolve into an energy body. In the next step, the energy body would explode from the inside, and a vast space would be created. Normally, when the energy body was about to evolve, it would be sealed and transformed into a bloodline heavenly pattern box. Which divine yang do you want to enter? The ancient beast asked again. That. Qin Yin pointed at Diwu divine yang. That's not a problem. If it's one of those three, you'd better not go in. The ancient beast said. Which three? Qin Yin asked curiously. You should know which three. There are 8 divine suns in the sky. Each divine sun looks the same size, but in fact, each divine sun is different. Can't you see that there's a big problem with 3 divine suns? The ancient beast said. The 8 myriad realms divine suns in the distant sky all looked the same size. Among them, the 7th and 8th divine suns were particularly powerful. Upon closer inspection, these 2 divine suns were larger. The other divine suns also looked very big, mainly because the halo was too big, creating an illusion. The ancient beast had mentioned 3 different myriad universe divine suns. Qin Yin naturally knew that they were the ancestor divine sun, the 2nd divine sun, and the 3rd divine Sunday. This was because there were descendants of the divine sun within them. However, it was impossible to tell from their appearances. I can't tell. Qin Yin pressed. Little Ma, you can tell? What's different? You can't tell? You're the God King here, yet you don't know? The ancient beast was very surprised. I really can't tell. Qin Yin sighed. All right, 3 divine suns have worms in their cores. Those bugs are very dangerous. Those 3 divine suns will definitely be finished by those bugs in the end. The ancient beast said, Insects? Qin Yin naturally knew that it was referring to the descendants of the divine sun. However, he never expected ancient beasts to know of such things. He thought that the descendants of the divine sun were created later to deal with the divine sun. Ancient beasts were born from energy bodies many years ago. He must have inherited the memories of the energy body lost spirit. That should be from a very long time ago. That's right, these bugs are very dangerous. They are branded in my memory, and I am very disgusted by them. The ancient bee sighed and said, I don't want to come into contact with these bugs. Qin Yun immediately realized the seriousness of the problem. Ancient beasts were born from energy bodies. It could be considered the evolution of energy body lost spirit. An energy body was formed from divine sun after many years and all kinds of coincidences. It could be considered a type of divine sun day. In other words, even if these divine sun lost spirits survived in other forms, they would still be afraid of the descendants of the divine sun. The descendants of the divine sun were the nemesis of the divine sun. Qin Yun knew that the descendants of the divine sun were a great hidden danger, but it would take a very long time for them to destroy the divine sun. And the most important thing right now is to fight against the 9 heavens lost spirit and the others. After approaching the 5th divine sun, the ancient beast suddenly stopped flying. They have already entered the area enveloped by the light mist of the 5th divine sun day. The temperature here is extremely high, and the light emitted by the 5th divine sun has a very strong penetrating power. Qin Yun has not been so close to the divine sun for a very long time. Even he felt uncomfortable from the light. Therefore, he did not say anything when he saw the ancient beast stop. Let's rest for a while before continuing. Qin Yun said, No, I'm not going. The ancient beast said, There are bugs nearby. I hate those disgusting fellows. The bugs that the ancient beast mentioned are the descendants of the divine sun. Qin Yun is suddenly alarmed. The descendants of the divine sun usually move around inside the divine sun, because only inside the divine sun can their bodies become eternal and become very powerful. After leaving the divine sun, their bodies would become extremely weak. Therefore, after leaving the divine sun, most of them could only parasitize powerful puppets with their souls. It is a very normal thing for the descendants of the divine sun to be near the divine sun, but Qin Yun is very shocked because he subconsciously believed that the descendants of the divine sun wanted to invade the 5th divine sun. Xiaoma, are you that afraid of those guys? Qin Yun said with a smile. I didn't expect you to be so cowardly. With just you still want to kill the universe lost spirit for revenge? The ancient beast snorted, then turned into a golden horse and said, I'm not afraid. I just feel that those things are disgusting. What makes me feel dangerous is that I'm afraid of big bugs. Those small bugs are disgusting and annoying. Besides, there's no need for us to provoke them. We're big bugs. Qin Yun asked, It's best if you don't meet them, or you'll definitely pee your pants. The ancient beast said with a mocking expression, Let's go. Since you're not afraid of anything, let's continue. In a while, you'll know how disgusting those little bugs are. Qin Yun has seen the descendants of the divine sun before. They are indeed very difficult to deal with, and their souls are very difficult to kill. He heard that the current descendants of the divine sun have greatly improved. This is the information from the Heaven Secret sect. The Heaven Secret sect has been collecting all kinds of information and would report to Qin Yun from time to time. Qin Yun would take a look whenever he had time. As for the Heaven Secret sect, they try to figure out the evolved abilities of the descendants of the divine sun, but they failed time and time again because they lost contact with the people who saw the descendants of the divine sun. Qin Yun is very worried about the situation inside the 5th divine sun day. Imperial Yao Yao and 9 Sun Kuan Peng are still inside. If they were invaded by the descendants of the divine sun, it would be a huge blow to them. What kind of storm have I not seen? I won't pee my pants from fright. Qin Yun said with a smile, As for you, don't be so scared that you cry for your parents. Chapter 3344. Qin Yun doesn't know how strong the divine sun descendants are now, but he can roughly guess from the information gathered by the Heavenly Secrets sect. Originally, the Sun Dragon race was inside the ancestral divine sun, but as the divine sun descendants became stronger and stronger, they had no choice but to stop their contact with them. Moreover, they stayed inside the divine sun core all day long. Heavenly God desolate. Yes, Even the strongest races in the core of the divine sun don't dare to move around outside this divine sun day. Therefore, Qin Yin speculated that the divine sun descendants around the divine sun should be peak divine space realm. Even if there are some who surpass the divine space realm, there are very few in number. Qin Yin, let me remind you first, although I am strong, those insects are restraining me. Therefore, when I face those insects, I might not be able to perform well. The ancient beast said, "You are very fast, much faster than me. If I don't use spatial jump, I won't be faster than you." Qin Yin doesn't expect the ancient beast to be of much help when facing the divine sun descendants. "My speed is very fast, so I am confident that I can smoothly retreat in a very dangerous moment. Don't worry, I will definitely bring you along." The ancient beast said, "Actually, retreating is not a shameful thing. You don't need to feel embarrassed about it. When you want to retreat, just call me." Qin Yin secretly despised this ancient beast. He didn't say anything about retreating. It was clearly the ancient beast who wanted to retreat at any time. Moreover, he even said that escaping was retreating. The ancient beast's communication ability is becoming more and more smooth. "Xiaoma, do you know what kind of beast you have transformed into?" Qin Yin asked. "What is it?" The ancient beast really doesn't know that he is now a horse. Qin Yin simply explained the horse-type beast. It has to be said that the ancient beast is quite quick-witted. He immediately understood why Qin Yin praised his speed. It was because he wanted to ride him. "You want to sit on my back?" After the ancient beast thought of this, he immediately asked. "I didn't say that. I just think that if you fly me over, I can save a lot of time." Qin Yin took out Barbarian Emperor's saber. He is already prepared to fight. "All right, you can come up." The ancient beast directly agreed. This caused Qin Yin to be somewhat surprised. Previously, Qin Yin had only been hinting at it. After all, the ancient beast was a powerful beast that surpassed the divine space realm, and it was the manifestation of a powerful Dharma spirit. Directly using it as a mount was somewhat embarrassing. "Qin Yin, you and I can be considered friends now. I need the divine sun blood seed for my cultivation. It can make me stronger. Once I'm stronger, I'll be able to help you when you're in trouble." The ancient beast that had transformed into a horse flew through the chaotic light mist released by the divine sun at an extremely fast speed. It wasn't affected by the light waves at all. Qin Yin knew that riding this horse would not be a simple matter. The ancient beast no longer had the naive look it had at the beginning. It was becoming more and more intelligent. "Of course, we are friends. We must help each other," Qin Yin said with a smile. "I need large amount of divine universe golden stones. You must help me more in the future." "No problem," the ancient beast said. After flying for a while, they were getting closer and closer to the surface of the fifth divine Sunday. Qin Yin was unable to use the magic mirror to contact Imperial Yao Yao. In the past, the magic mirror array could cover the core of the god's sun, but recently, it had been gradually disconnected. It could only communicate with the four godsuns because the magic mirror array was within the four godsuns. There are insects nearby. There are quite a few of them, more than 10 in total. They are flying over, the ancient beast said. Qin Yin tightly gripped his saber and said, "Don't be afraid. You rush over, and I will chop down with my saber at the same time. The power will be even stronger." The ancient beast knew that Qin Yin was very strong, so it was quite at ease. If Qin Yin really couldn't beat it, it could quickly retreat with Qin Yin. After getting close to the divine sun descendant, Qin Yin sensed that the aura is indeed very strong, but it doesn't surpass the divine space realm. "It's not that strong," Qin Yin casually said while riding on the horse. At the same time, he chopped down with his saber. Because the ancient beast's speed is too fast, Qin Yin's saber hacked down on a divine sun descendant, causing him to be unable to determine the result. "Is that guy dead?" Qin Yin asked. "Of course not. He's completely fine," the ancient beast said. "You just temporarily cut off his body. He will be able to reconstruct it very quickly." "All right." Qin Yin felt somewhat helpless. The most effective way to deal with the divine sun descendant is to use soul loss do. Erase the consciousness of the soul and turn the divine sun descendant into a person without consciousness. However, soul lost cannot be mass-produced, so is not the ultimate method to deal with the divine sun descendant. On the way, a large number of divine sun descendant approached. They can all sense the ancient beast flying. It must be said that the ancient beast's speed is very fast. The divine sun descendant simply can't catch up. Even though there are a lot of them in front of him, they're all chopped to pieces by Qin Yun's saber. The ancient beast is madly flying. The saber in Qin Yun's hand is like an electric fan, sweeping away a large number of divine sun descendants. There are so many of them. Qin Yun feels like he is approaching a super beehive. A large number of divine sun descendants are in front of him. Their souls are all connected. As long as one insect finds you, the whole nest will know where you are, the ancient beast said, then immediately circled around and changed direction to continue advancing. The ancient beast can sense that a large number of divine sun descendants are blocking in front of him. Even if Qin Yun can quickly kill them, it would be completely meaningless. It would instead waste Qin Yun's power. Qin Yun also tried to devour them, but it was completely useless. Isn't the super large nether sun's devouring power strong enough? However, these insects can still destroy an entire super large nether sun. The ancient beast can sense that Qin Yun is using the nether sun's devouring power. Qin Yun is even more anxious. There are so many divine sun descendants outside the fifth divine sun. Could the inner core be invaded? Because the four divine suns are very special mother suns, the divine sun descendants are unable to invade. Although the other myriad realms' divine suns were able to temporarily resist the divine sun descendants, because of the four divine suns, the divine sun descendants are also constantly evolving and becoming stronger. Perhaps they have already found a way to invade other divine suns. Finally, the ancient beast arrived at the surface of the fifth divine sun. The nine-sun divine maiden is no longer in the core of the fifth divine Sunday. They are now gathered in a very secret place. So Qin Yun can't summon the nine-sun divine maiden to teleport him in, nor can he use the mysterious penetration divine ability. He can only use the old method, which is to find the entrance on the surface of the fifth divine Sunday. Qin Yun doesn't remember this entrance very clearly. Fortunately, there are no insects on the surface. This divine sun is really strange. Insects can't enter, the ancient beast exclaimed. The birth of this divine sun is somewhat related to me. I mainly use the fourth divine sun as a reference, so I can resist the invasion of the divine sun descendants. However, I don't know if I can resist them in the future. Qin Yun let Yang Yang come out and bring him inside the fifth divine Sunday. Yang Yang is very familiar with the passage inside the divine sun. Chapter 33:45. After Yang Yang came out, she also felt danger. Although the group of divine sun descendants did not dare to land on the surface of the fifth divine sun, there's a large group of divine sun descendants eyeing them covetously. This kind of atmosphere is very unsettling. Big brother, the divine sun, is in danger. Yang Yang flew in front. Her small face is filled with solemnity, and her curved eyebrows are tightly knitted. The ancient beast has been paying attention to Yang Yang since earlier. He seems to know that Yang Yang is a beast. In his opinion, she could be considered his own kind. Don't worry, I will definitely protect the divine sun. Qin Yun, as a divine king, also has to protect the myriad realms' divine Sunday. The nine suns' lost spirit has placed all its hopes on him to deal with the descendants of the divine sun very quickly. Yang Yang found the entrance. It is a teleportation formation. It is very well hidden. Qin Yun first let Yang Yang return to the nine-sun divine spirit, and then entered the teleportation formation with the ancient beast. That little girl, just now, is a beast. She is very powerful, but I don't want to transform into this kind of beast. It is not compatible with me. You want to see if it is compatible or not. Qin Yun is injecting energy into the teleportation formation and then activating it to absorb the power of the myriad realms' divine Sunday. Of course, it depends. If it is not compatible, after I transform, my power will be greatly weakened. The ancient beast said, for example, if I transform into this horse, my speed will be very fast, but other aspects will be lacking. Qin Yin understood that the ancient beast's choice of target could not be random. Wait a moment, you must be vigilant. There might be danger inside the divine sun. Qin Yun warned the ancient beast. There should be 9 sun Kuan Peng inside. The 5th divine Sunday, Imperial Demon Yao, is also inside, but Qin Yun has lost contact with Imperial Demon Yao, so he has no way of knowing the situation inside. He also has not understood the interior of the 5th divine sun for many days. It is hard to say what will happen inside. Let's go. The ancient beast said. He has already made his preparations. Qin Yun immediately activated the teleportation formation. In the blink of an eye, Qin Yun and the ancient beast arrived in a vast expanse of white space. This is not the interior of the 5th divine sun that Qin Yun is familiar with. In the past, the interior of the 5th divine sun was fiery red, and there was a huge fireball in the middle. Now, the interior of the 5th divine sun is a vast expanse of white, and the core is also white. The 5th divine sun's interior didn't have many layers. It wasn't like the other divine suns, which had an outer layer and an inner layer. It was basically a combination of the inner and outer layers. As long as one passed through the surface and entered the divine sun's interior, they would be able to see the divine sun's core. The 5th divine sun's core was originally entered by Yang Shuriwe. She had later modified the divine sun's core. Therefore, it was very normal for the 5th divine sun's interior to undergo changes. However, it was impossible to determine if the changes were good or bad. Qin Yun took out the soul-chasing talisman and immediately felt a lot more at ease when he sensed the Imperial Demon. Demonis, I'm coming, Qin Yun shouted. Very quickly, he saw a beautiful red-haired woman. Yu Yao Yao had flown out from the huge white core in the middle. In the past, it was impossible to enter the core. Only Yang Shuryu had the authority to enter, but this Imperial Demon could actually enter and exit the core of the Divine Sun. Where is the young Kuan Peng? Qin Yin was somewhat disappointed that he did not see the 9 young Kuan Peng. You're not here for me? As soon as we met, he asked little Kuan Peng if you were plotting against him again. Imperial Yao Yao came in front of Qin Yun and crossed her arms. Her beautiful face is filled with hidden bitterness. Yao Yao, I have an important matter that I need your help with. Qin Yun smiled and said, I really didn't expect that the changes inside the 5th Divine Sun would be so great. That's right. Sister Yang left this place to me. Imperial Yao Yao coquettishly combed her beautiful red hair. Left it to you? What do you mean? Qin Yun could roughly guess, but he did not know what kind of changes had occurred here. She said that I am the guardian of the 5th Divine Sun. I can also be considered her bodyguard. Imperial Yao Yao said she has opened up multiple spaces inside the core. Furthermore, there's a passage that connects to a place. It is said that that place is the 9th Divine Sun's core space. Can you take me there? Qin Yun is somewhat excited. He never expected that a passage had already been opened in the depths of the Divine Sun's core. It could lead to the mysterious 9th Divine Sun's core. The 9th Divine Sun's core has already been formed, and it still has a very large core space. This means that the 9th Divine Sun has already grown to a certain extent in some place, and will soon descend into the Divine Desolate. Even I can't enter the 9th layer space. The passage is in the core's 9th layer space. Imperial Yao Yao spread her hands and asked, Why are you looking for little Kuan Peng? This guy is sleeping. Is it convenient for you to take him out for a stroll? Qin Yun asked. Of course it's convenient. I will return to the heaven-opening treasure land from time to take a look. Imperial Yao Yao said, You are so strong now. Is there anything you can't do? The heaven-opening treasure land belongs to the heaven-opening ancient clan. The changes there are great. Moreover, there's also the Taisher Nirvana City. The ancient Yu clan has also developed quite well in the heaven-opening treasure land. Qin Yin simply said that he wants to dig up Divine Universe Golden Stones, and he needs to do it quickly. Imperial Yao Yao immediately understood, but she still felt that it would take a lot of time. The Divine Universe Golden Stones of those great powers are all hidden in the treasure lands. It's not easy to break the barrier. Imperial Yao Yao said, "It's not easy, so I need little Kuan Peng's help. I will sneak into their treasure land and then let little Kuan Peng take action. It will be done very quickly." Qin Yin said with a smile, "Quickly let little Kuan Peng out. I still have one more thing." Imperial Yao Yao took out a bell and woke little Kuan Peng. The small Kuan Peng is even smaller than the ancient beast horse. Qin Yin immediately let Yang Yang come out and give little Kuan Peng some delicious dragon peaches and other fruit juices. Little Kuan Peng is very happy. He let Yang Yang ride on his body and fly around. "Little horse, do you think this little Kuan Peng is suitable for you to transform?" Qin Yin said, "If you can transform in a 9-sun Kuan Peng, you will also be very strong. I'll give it a try." The ancient beast suddenly transformed into a ball of energy. Qin Yin let Yang Yang come back. 9-sun Kuan Peng saw the ancient beast transform into energy fly over and felt a kind of affinity. Then he let the ancient beast wrap around his body. "What is he doing?" Imperial Yao Yao asked curiously. She knows that Qin Yin will not harm Kuan Peng, so she is not worried. Little horse can transform into other beasts. He is now recording all the information about little Kuan Peng so that he can transform later. Qin Yin said, "After little horse transforms, he will be even stronger than little Kuan Peng. Is that so? How can this be?" Imperial Yao Yao is greatly alarmed. "Little horse's strength surpasses divine space realm. What do you think?" Qin Yin said with a smile. This made Imperial Yao Yao extremely envious. She suddenly had the thought of using little Kuan Peng to exchange for little horse. "Big brother, little horse is very powerful. I can't beat him now," Yang Yang said softly. "Don't worry, big brother will definitely make you stronger in the future, so that you can beat little horse." Qin Yin caressed Yang Yang's face and said with a smile. The ancient beast quickly finished recording the information, then transformed into a horse and returned to Qin Yin's side. He did not transform in a little Kuan Peng. "Why don't you transform in a Kuan Peng?" Qin Yin asked. "I'm afraid that when the time comes, I will become too big and scare little Kuan Peng. I'll transform when the time comes." The ancient beast is in an extremely good mood. He laughed a few times. Chapter 3346. Yu Yao Yao is also secretly astonished that the ancient beast Qin Yun brought can actually transform into 9-sun Kuan Peng. Moreover, it can also control the most powerful aspect of 9-sun Kuan Peng. It can become extremely huge. Some beasts can also master transformation techniques through cultivation. At most, they can only change their appearance. For example, they can transform into a dragon to scare other beasts. However, they can't control the power of a dragon or the powerful aura of a dragon. However, ancient beasts can do it. If they transform into a dragon, they will be a dragon without any flaws. Yu Yao Yao is very interested in beasts. Because she has the Imperial Beast Heavenly Talisman, she was able to subdue the Kuan Peng back then. Qin Yun saw the demoness' sparkling eyes and can't help but pinch her cheeks. He said with a smile, "Don't have any ideas about Xiao Ma." Yu Yao Yao was worried that Qin Yun would kidnap young Kuan Peng. Now it is Qin Yun's turn to worry that this demoness will kidnap ancient beasts. Same to you." Yu Yao Yao lightly snorted and asked, "When do we set off?" "But we are not enough. I still need to call some helpers. As long as we start moving, we must be swift and decisive. Sweep them with the fastest speed so that they won't be able to react in a short period of time," Qin Yun said. At that time, the new human camp will definitely join forces to resist. Qin Yun wants to gather enough power to contend against the new human camp without using the Myriad Realms Divine Palace. This is indeed very difficult. Qin Yun and Yu Yao Yao discussed for a while and finally decided to let Yu Yao Yao leave the fifth divine son first to find Luo Yaya and go to the Shadow Pavilion to understand the new human camp. The Dark Shadow Pavilion is very secretive. It is Luo Shu's power. Qinyan does not need Luo Shu to act personally, but he can use the Dark Shadow Pavilion to obtain important information. He also let the Heaven Secrets sect contact the Dark Shadow Pavilion. Both sides share information. The results will be better. Qinyan wants to wait for news from Xiao Yuelon. Xiao Yuelon said she will go find Xiao Yuemei and see if she can sneak out to help Qinyan. Xiao Yuemei has not reached the divine space realm, but she is the nine-sun divine maiden. She cultivates in the myriad realms divine sun core all year round and possesses powerful abilities. As long as she doesn't meet someone who has surpassed the divine space realm, very few are her match. After leaving the fifth divine sun core, they flew outside and once again met the divine sun descendants. Yu Yao Yao was filled with disgust and fear towards the descendants of the god sun. She had been inside the god sun for a long time and naturally knew how dangerous the descendants of the god sun were. After leaving the Diwu divine sun, Qinyan took out the heaven-leaping shuttle and began traversing through space. If the descendant of the divine sun messed up his spatial travel near the fifth divine sun, it would be rather troublesome. The heaven-leaping shuttle would be damaged. After arriving at the god's wilderness, Yu Yao Yao went to look for Luo Yaya, while Qinyan brought Gu beasts and stealthily made his way to the Luo Emperor Palace. Luo Yingtian had been here all along. Qinyan had come here secretly, so even Luo Yingtian did not know that Qinyan would come. When Qinyan suddenly appeared in Luo Yingtian's water moon core, Luo Yingtian didn't feel surprised. He was only surprised to see the ancient beast. The moment Luo Yingtian saw the ancient beast, he knew that it was very strong. It was an existence that surpassed the divine space realm. This is the ancient beast of Nine Heavens Island? Luo Yingtian asked. He did not know much about ancient beasts. He only knew from the barbarian emperor that ancient beasts were very powerful and very difficult to subdue. But now, one of them was following Qinyan, and it was even a horse. Yes, Qinyan nodded and said, "Do you know where Barbarian Emperor is?" If Qinyan wanted to sweep the treasured lands of the new Founding Man camp, he first had to deal with Barbarian Emperor. Unfortunately, he is not in the god's wilderness. Luo Yingtian lowered his voice and said with a slightly serious expression, "Some time ago, he came to find me and said that he wanted to leave the god's wilderness for a period of time. I don't know what he is going to do. He must have gone to find an ally. They need to find an ally with strength comparable to us. Only then can they keep us in check." Qinyan said, "It seems that the universe Dharma spirit and the nine heavens Dharma spirit will not be able to descend into the god's wilderness in a short period of time. Divine King, I will always be on your side. Barbarian Emperor and the nine heavens Dharma spirit still do not know." Luo Yingtian said, "According to the agreement between me and Barbarian Emperor, the territories of Hualing Empire and the Luo Empire are under my control. What does Heavenly Emperor Hualing think?" Qinyan asked. Although he promised Barbarian Emperor on the surface that he will temporarily listen to you, he is very dissatisfied. He did not let the divine court of myriad realms take over. He only said that they will follow the order of the divine court of myriad realms and will not let the divine court of myriad realms build divine courts in their cities. Luo Yingtian said, "Divine King, what do you plan to do?" Next, there will be a group of extremely strong bandits. Without the protection of the divine court of myriad realms, they will be plundered by these bandits. Qinyan smiled. Luo Yingtian, you should know about the various powers. You should know which ones are the richest, right? I am very clear. I will arrange for people to pass this information to Luo Shu and Luo Xuan. They will pass it on to you. Luo Yingtian also smiled. He also knows that this is indeed a good opportunity for Qinyan to wipe out the new beginning humans. Barbarian Emperor is not here, and the Nine Heavens Dharma Spirit is tied down by the Nine Sun Dharma Spirit. There is no one among the new beginning humans who can contend against Qinyan. Divine King, You must be wary of the universe god race and the divine sun descendants. Barbarian Emperor had a very deep contact with him before. This matter is very confidential, and I can't find any information. Luo Yingtian's smile suddenly disappeared and solemnly warned. Qin Yin doesn't need Luo Yingtian to take action. Moreover, he will immediately leave Great Luo Imperial City because Luo Yingtian wants to hide in the New Beginning Humans camp. If necessary, he can use Luo Yingtian to deal a heavy blow to the Nine Heavens Dharma spirit. Qin Yin left Great Luo Imperial City with the ancient beast and arrived outside Hualing Imperial City. He took out the Nine-Sun Heaven-Raising Pagoda and contacted Xiao Yuelon. Xiao Yuelon immediately replied that Xiao Yuanmei can sneak out. Xiao Yuanmei can change Yu Shaoling into her appearance and stay there. She can also not let the Nine-Sun Divine Maiden discover that she has left. Yu Shaoling is a fairy. She can come out of Xiao Yuelon's Nine-Yin Divine Spirit. Therefore, no one will suspect that she suddenly disappeared. Xiao Yuanmei can completely deceive the Nine-Sun Divine Maiden by changing Yu Shaoling into her appearance. After discussing, Qin Yin set a location and waited for Xiao Yuanmei to run out. Then he used a magic mirror to contact her. Qin Yin only waited for 2 hours, and Xiao Yuanmei contacted him through the magic mirror. "Brother, I want to go to the Divine Inscription Mountain. Will it be a problem to mobilize the Inscription Gate?" Xiao Yuanmei asked. She is the big sister of the Inscription Gate. She hasn't gone back for a long time. She really misses the feeling of being a big sister. Of course, Qin Yin agreed. The Inscription Gate is usually very hidden. Moreover, the Divine Inscription Mountain can change shape, and there's a lot of space inside. It is very convenient. Soon after, Qin Yin contacted the Imperial Heaven Pawn Shop's Yunlong shopkeeper and told him to be on standby at any time. After contacting the Imperial Heaven Pawn Shop, he contacted the Law Enforcement Realm King. The Law Enforcement Realm King can also be considered a transformed Divine Sun descendant. His soul is currently possessing a puppet body. The Inscription Gate helped them refine powerful bodies, allowing their power to continuously increase. Qin Yin needs the Law Enforcement Realm's people to deal with the Divine Sun descendant who might appear, because they understand the Divine Sun descendant better. Chapter 33:47. The Law Enforcement Realm's Divine Sun descendants have already been taken in by Qin Yin and are now managed by the Law Enforcement Realm King. Although they don't have their own bodies, the Inscription Gate has always been helping them refine powerful bodies. Therefore, the law enforcers are very reliant on Qin Yin. Otherwise, their bodies would not be able to keep up with the current divine wilderness. The Law Enforcement World King's body was personally forged by Qin Yin. Although it couldn't reach the level of the Divine Space Realm, it was still a peak existence within the Divine Space Realm. Qin Yin only ordered the Law Enforcement Realm King to pay attention to the movements of the Divine Sun descendants. He ordered them to search the Divine Desolate to see if there are other Divine Sun descendants gathered together. They must find these Divine Sun descendants as soon as possible. The Law Enforcement Realm King knew what Qin Yin was worried about, so he would definitely handle this matter well. Qin Yin was outside Hualing Imperial City. Yin Long came alone and landed on a Nine-Sun Sky Raising Pagoda. "Manager Yin Long, long time no see," said Qin Yin with a smile. "It's not that long. This amount of time is not considered long for us at all." Yin Long stroked his long white beard and said with a smile, "Are foster father and the others all right?" Qin Yin asked. "Everything is fine. The pawn shop has been very idle during this period of time. Sai, we have been trying our best to contact the ancient wasteland, but we have never been able to." Yin Long sighed. Over at Ancient Desolation, it had always been Heaven Destroyer who had been in contact with the pawn shop. However, due to many things that had happened, they had lost contact with Ancient Desolation. Qin Yin's parents were in the Ancient Desolate. He had always wanted to know the situation there. "They'll be fine," Yin Long consoled. And Qin Yin nodded. If he wanted to know what was going on in the Ancient Desolate land, he could only find the Nine Yang Lost Spirit. "Boss, our control over the pawn shop has improved a lot. This is mainly due to your foster father and MOG. They have mastered a powerful technique that can make the pawn shop very small. Yin Long chuckled. The Immortal Heaven pawn shop was a smaller version of the Celestial Sun pawn shop, but to humans, it was a massive entity. This pawn shop had been floating near the Four God Sunday. During this period of time, it had absorbed a lot of the Four God Sun's energy and became a lot stronger. How small can it become? Qin Yin had always had a headache over how big the pawn shop was. It was easy to become a target. At the very least, it could become a sphere the size of a small house. Yin Long laughed. This is very convenient for us to carry out secret operations. That's great. Qin Yin was pleasantly surprised. If the Immortal Heaven pawn shop were to join this operation, things would go much smoother for them. The first target of Qin Yun's operation this time was Hualing Emperor City. Heavenly Emperor Hualing had always hated Qin Yun, this divine king, very much. Even if Barbarian Sovereign asked him to temporarily lower his head to Qin Yun, he still refused. Furthermore, Heavenly Dharch Hualing believed that with the protection of the 9 heavens' Dharma spirits and the universe's Dharma spirits, Qin Yun wouldn't dare to do anything to them. Therefore, he had been resisting the myriad world's divine court. Qin Yun was now outside Hualing Imperial City, waiting for Luo Shuang and Luo Shu to deliver the information. Luo Yingtian held important information about the Hualing Empire, so it could be said that he knew the Hualing Empire like the back of his hand. However, he couldn't show himself. Even Luo Shuang and Luo Shu had to contact Qin Yun secretly. Manager Yin Long, control the pawn shop. When you need it, you must immediately teleport here, said Qin Yun. The Imperial Heaven pawn shop could travel through space, especially now that it had shrunk to a smaller size. The energy required to travel through space was even less. No problem. After I set the coordinates, I will go back and prepare. Yin Long nodded and flew out to determine the coordinates of Hualing Imperial City. Qin Yun contacted Xiao Yueme and learned that she is already at the Divine Inscription Mountain. She is currently summoning the members of the Inscription Gate to return and prepare to take action. Yueme, do you think I should contact Sister Shangyun? Qin Yun used the magic mirror to ask Xiao Yueme. He couldn't make up his mind. Xiao Yuelon told him to go find Divine Moon Clan for help, but he was still embarrassed to ask. Let's contact them. Sister Shangyun will definitely help you. Xiao Yueme laughed. If we have Divine Moon Clan's help, it will be much easier for us. All right, I'll go ask her. Oh right, go contact the Patriarch of the Fire Tribulation Madman race, and let them enter the Divine Inscription Mountain. Qin Yun said. The Fire Tribulation Madman race is improving themselves, and now they have become very strong. Qin Yun also hasn't seen the Patriarch for a long time. Old Xiao has always been in contact with them. I'll let old Xiao go find the Patriarch. Xiao Yueme said. Qin Yun used the magic mirror to contact Yu Shangyun. He waited for less than half an hour before Yu Shangyun sent a message. I was in a moon core before, so I didn't answer you in time. Yu Shangyun asked, is there something urgent? Generally speaking, Qin Yun wouldn't look for her if there's nothing important. Sister Shangyun, I plan to loot the treasure land of the New Beginning Race camp. I need a large amount of divine, universe, golden stones. According to the latest information, Barbarian Emperor is already far away from Divine Desolate. I only need to pay attention to Divine Sun descendants and Cosmos God race. Qin Yun said, I can't leave the Divine Moon. You can go find Xianxin. She is now the acting Emperor of Divine Moon Clan. Furthermore, you're the Emperor of Divine Moon Clan. You can directly go to Divine Moon Clan to find Xianxin, Shui Yu, and the other kings to discuss. You don't need to go through me. Yu Shangyun said, what are you doing in the Divine Moon? Will there be any danger? Qin Yun asked worriedly. The Divine Moon of the Heavens was also the goal of the New Beginning race. Although there was the Divine Moon Little Magic Spirit, it was sealed last time, and it was Qin Yun who saved her. I am using the Divine Moon Blood Seed to cultivate. If everything goes smoothly, I might be able to open up a cultivation path suitable for our Divine Moon Clan. allowing our sisters to step into a new realm. Yu Shangyun said, "Ah, so powerful." Qin Yun sighed in shock. "Are there many divine moon blood seeds?" "The divine moon little magic spirit can be produced, but it needs to be cultivated with the Sun and Moon Heart Sutra. That's why I can't leave during this period of time." Yu Shangyun said, "Yun, you become very strong now. Your strength far surpasses ours. We cannot drag you down. Don't be too hasty. Maintain a stable state of mind." Qin Yun then told Yu Shangyun about his experiences in entering the Origin Realm. Yu Shangyun listened very seriously and even asked about many details. It could be seen that Qin Yun's cultivation experience was very helpful to her. After Qin Yun finished chatting with Yu Shangyun, he immediately contacted Xiao Xianqin and told her about his actions. He asked her to transfer a few professional teams over. There was no need for too many. Xiao Xianqin immediately went to find people. There are many female clan members with unique skills in the Divine Moon clan. There is no need for them to have strong fighting strength, as long as they can quickly take away the Divine Universe Golden Stone when the time comes. The Law Enforcement Realm King's actions were very fast. He quickly sent over a very important piece of information. "Boss, there is indeed a group of powerful Divine Sun descendants who have come to the Divine Desolate. They are inside the Great Nether Sun at the center of the Nine Sun Sacred Land." The Law Enforcement Realm King said, "According to the information I obtained, they have fused with the Cosmos God race." "What? Fusion?" Qin Yun was very shocked. This should be a new experiment of the Cosmos Law Spirit. The souls of the Divine Sun descendants have entered the body of the Cosmos God race. I still haven't investigated their strength clearly. The Law Enforcement Realm King said. Chapter 3348. Luo Yingtian had previously reminded Qin Yun to be wary of the descendants of the Divine Sun God race and the Cosmos God race. Although he did not know the exact situation, he could hear some things from the Barbarian Emperor and the Nine Heavens Lost Spirits. The bodies of the Cosmos Gods are very powerful. They grasp a unique technique to create a body. The law-enforcing World King said, "Continue to pay attention to their movements. Once there's any movement, inform me immediately." Qin Yun had never met a Cosmos God who had fused with his body. He did not know how strong they were either. He could only let the Law Enforcement World King continue investigating. The Cosmos God clan had quite a few superpowers. Previously, they were split apart, but the strongest was still within the Netherworld Sun located at the center of the Holy Ground. If the universe's Dharma spirit needed them to combine, it would definitely be done quickly. If the Cosmos Lost Spirit realizes that we are not easy to deal with, it will definitely gather the power of the Cosmos God race to keep us in check. Qin Yun said, "It seems like the Cosmos Lost Spirit did not completely rely on the new beginning humans to keep me in check. There were barbarians in the Nova Humans camp. Now that the Barbarian Emperor was no match for Qin Yun, and the other empires, Taisher factions, and powerful races in the Sacred Lands did not have anyone who surpassed the Divine Universe realm among them. They were unable to keep Qin Yun in check. A God-Son descendant fusing with a Cosmos God should be able to increase the strength of his soul and universe energy." Old Brother Taisher said, "A powerful body, coupled with a powerful soul and universe energy." Qin Yun immediately thought of something and said, "The Divine Moon Lake of the myriad heavens' divine moons can help strengthen one's soul and strengthen one's psyche. The Divine Moon of the heavens mainly focuses on the soul and mental power. Could it be that after they fuse and become stronger, their main goal is still the Divine Moon of the heavens?" The descendants of the Divine Sun God also wanted to invade the Divine Moon of heavens, but they had always failed. It's highly possible, but if you steal the treasured land of the Xingshi people, once they find out, they will definitely take action. Old Brother Taisher said, "This isn't a bad thing for you. At least you can understand their situation in advance." Qin Yun understood from Luo Yingtian that the major forces in the camp of the new founder had to pay tribute to the Cosmos God race with divine universe golden rocks and various resources. The Cosmos God race also required large amounts of divine universe golden rocks. Every month, they would receive a huge tribute. For example, the Grand Luo Empire had to pay a tribute of 1 trillion divine universe goldstones every month. Of course, the Great Luo Empire occupied many treasured lands and had many large cities. Every month, they could obtain a large number of divine universe goldstones. What worried Qin was, why did the Cosmos God race want so many divine universe goldstones? Could it be that they had a way to create a divine sun blood seed? Those guys are in the core of the great nether sun, in the core of the super large nether sun. In addition to a large amount of divine universe golden stones, maybe they can really refine a divine sun blood seed. Qin Yin has always been curious about the great nether sun in the center of the 9-sun sacred land. That is the territory of the Cosmos God race. They have deep roots there, so it would be very difficult for them to attack. After getting the information, Qin Yin began to contact all parties and ask them to arrive outside Hualing Imperial City within 3 days. The Mystic Moon race would send out 4 small teams, led by the Wind Moon, Water Moon, Dark Moon, and Blood Moon. Flower Moon had other matters to attend to, so they did not come. Each small team had 10 people, and they were all extremely strong in the Mystic Moon clan. Qin Yin did not give them any specific tasks. He only told them to coordinate with the rest of the team and act flexibly according to the situation. The Divine Mountain of Inscription had already arrived. It transformed into a stone ship and flew in the air after becoming invisible. The Imperial Heaven Pawnshop turned into a sphere with a diameter of more than 3 meters. It quietly landed on the top of a mountain outside Hualing Imperial City and waited for the attack. Yu Yao Yao has already entered the Divine Mountain of Inscription. She is together with Luo Shu and Luo Xuan. Qin Yin is now also inside the Divine Mountain of Inscription. He finally saw Xiao Yuemei. There are many people here, such as Xiao Hua, Mountain God, and Azure Dragon. They are all here with solemn expressions. Xiao Yuemei's expression is cold. She is wearing black armor. Her hair is tied up in a ponytail, and she is wearing a red cloak. She has one hand on her waist. Her beautiful and charming face is filled with solemnity. She is majestically standing on a rock, giving off the aura of a big sister. When she saw Qin Yin, she only slightly nodded and then called out Sectmaster. Only Qin Yin understands her and knows that she is pretending. If there was no one else here, this girl would have already laughed and hopped over. Soon after, Luo Shu and Luo Shuang took out the map of Hualing Imperial City and told everyone where the army is. Let Fire Tribulation Crazy Race and Strange Cat Kingdom deal with the Hualing Imperial Army. Patriarch Hua Kuang, Strange Cat King, can you deal with it? Xiao Yuemei asked. Yes, Hua Kuang said. No problem. Strange Cat King is also here. Qin Yin did not call Strange Cat King. It was Xiao Yuemei who asked Xiao Hua to find Strange Cat King. 4 kings of Divine Moon Clan. You will enter Fire Tribulation Crazy Race and Strange Cat Kingdom's army respectively. You will be in charge of killing the enemy's experts. Xiao Yuemei said. She has some understanding of the small team brought by Divine Moon Clan. 4 kings of Divine Moon Clan nodded, indicating that there is no problem. Sectmaster, you and I will charge at the forefront. You and I will join hands and destroy their barrier and defensive killing formation. Then we will subdue the Heavenly Emperor and other king generals of Hualing Empire as fast as possible. Xiao Yuemei said again. All right. Qin Yin nodded. Old Xiao, after Sectmaster and I break through the Emperor City's defense, the Divine Rune Mountain will become bigger and transform into Hercules God. We will charge at the front and consume as much of their army as possible. After we cripple their army, Strange Cat Kingdom and Fire Tribulation Crazy Race will go and finish them off. This way we can avoid heavy casualties. Xiao Yuemei said. Qin Yin said, Yuemei, this time we are going for their treasure land. We are not going to start a war. Their Emperor City is different. It will be very difficult to quietly take away the Divine Universe Golden Stones under their treasure land. Hualing Empire's strongest army is in the Emperor City. So long as we defeat the Emperor City, the rest of Hualing Empire's 100 cities will be easy to capture. Xiao Yuanmei said, "That's right, but we have to consider other reinforcements. For example, barbarian race and other new origin people. Compared to them, our strength is still too weak." Qin Yun said, "So we must finish the battle quickly and wait for their reinforcements to arrive. Then the Imperial Heaven Pawn Shop will transform into a huge heavenly universe divine sun and then teleport us inside the pawn shop. Quickly attack." Qin Yun said with smile. "Yuanmei, the Imperial Heaven Pawn Shop will also participate this time. Is that so? That's great." Xiao Yuanmei is somewhat impatient to attack. At this time, everyone felt the earth tremble. "Sectmaster, Heavenly Dao altar has arrived." Mountain God's voice echoed. "That fool Tian Dao Z really knows how to pick a time come." Qin Yun finished speaking and immediately left the divine rune mountain. The Heavenly Dao altar is still as big as a 10,000 zhang huge mountain. It rampaged on the ground, smashing through many mountains. The commotion is very big and alarmed the entire Hualing Emperor City. Chapter 3349. Qin Yun felt that it is very strange. This Tian Dao Z has always been a coward. He usually hid in his shell. He also wanted to contact Tian Dao Z and borrow the Heavenly Dao altar to absorb other people's attacks and block most of the power. But he can't contact Tian Dao Z at all. Now that they are about to take action, Tian Dao Z's Heavenly Dao altar actually appeared. Qin Yun recalled that he has not seen the Heavenly Dao altar for a long time. This altar appeared at the right time. Xiao Yuanmei and Xiao Hua also came out of the divine inscription mountain. Sure enough, they saw a really fast-moving, huge altar. It easily pushed open the mountains on the ground and moved forward as fast as lightning. Obviously, the Heavenly Dao altar's target is Hualing Emperor City. Dazhuang, Pippi, were you the ones who contacted Heaven Dao Z? Qin Yun asked. No, this second brother must know that we have victory in our hands, so he rushed over. Shimin Dazhuang said with dissatisfaction. Usually when we look for him, we don't even see his shadow. Now he must have smelled some benefits, so he appeared. After speaking, Shimin Dazhuang took out a talisman that can send a message to Tian Dao Z. Shimin Dazhuang originally wanted Tian Dao Z to stop so that everyone could go over and greet him. However, the Heavenly Dao altar did not seem to have any intention of stopping. Could it be that it wants to attack directly? Qin Yun said with frown. This might deviate from our plan. Xiao Yuanmei said. It's fine. We just need to act according to our previous plan. Sectmaster, you and I will attack the city first and break their barrier. Xiao Hua said, Hualing Emperor City must have been alarmed. Let the Heavenly Dao altar attract their attention. You attack from the other side. As long as you break the barrier, it will be our turn next. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuanmei immediately took action and flew towards the other side of Hualing Emperor City. The appearance of the Heavenly Dao altar caused a great commotion. All the big shots in Hualing Emperor City immediately noticed it. Moreover, the news of the Heavenly Dao altar also appeared on the magic mirror. Standing on the city wall of Hualing Emperor City, many people used the magic mirror to record the Heavenly Dao altar's image and post it on the magic mirror platform. Some people knew that this was the Heavenly Law altar and that it was a very ancient existence in the divine desolate heavens. However, no one knew the specifics. Even Qin Yun doesn't know what the Heavenly Dao altar has become. Tian Dao Z seemed to have complete control over the Heavenly Law altar and was constantly evolving it. Qin Yun only knows that Tian Dao Z can control the Heavenly Dao altar to absorb the power of the myriad world's divine sun and use it to upgrade the Heavenly Dao altar. In other words, the Heavenly Law altar might be related to the Nine-Yang Law Spirit, but only the Nine-Yang Law Spirit would know the specifics. When Hualing Imperial City found that the altar of heaven was rushing over, They immediately controlled the barrier to increase the energy. They didn't know why the sacrificial altar of heaven was rushing over, but judging from its aura, it was definitely going to crash into Hualing Emperor City, so they had to defend first. Brother, let's not attack first. Hualing Emperor City's barrier is definitely the strongest. Xiao Yuemei pulled Qin Yun's arm and floated in the air, giggling. She no longer has that big sister attitude from before. Qin Yun took out 2 dragon peaches and brought them to her mouth. Xiao Yuemei opened her small mouth wide and took a bite. Then she happily ate, praising incessantly while eating. These were planted by Yang Yang and Mo. Qin Yun said with smile, "There are still many." Xiao Yuemei wolfed down the food. While eating, she said with grief, "Brother, you don't know. I've been holed up in that godforsaken place for all these years. I have never eaten anything decent." Qin Yun poked her stomach and said with a smile, "Isn't there a lot of delicious food in your storage treasure?" "I ate them all. Big Sister and you Shaoling, those 2 gluttons, ate all the good things I secretly hid." Xiao Yuemei wrinkled her nose and said, "Especially Big Sister. She came out 2 or 3 times, and every time she went back, she didn't bring any more food. She even said that she was afraid that Sister Kiru would discover some clues. She is truly a coward." Qin Yun pinched her cheek and said with smile, "It has truly been hard on you. Don't worry, this time I will definitely fill it with delicious food for you. I already sent people to prepare it. Brother is still the best." Xiao Yuemei hugged Qin Yun's arm and happily ate the fragrant and sweet dragon peach. "Yuemei, during this period of time, have you all become stronger?" Qin Yun asked. "Could it be that 9-Sun Lost Spirit has no way to help you surpass Divine Space Realm?" "No, he can't even protect himself now." Xiao Yuemei lightly groaned and said, "In the end, we still have to rely on Divine Moon, Little Lost Spirit. Whether or not our 9-Sun Divine Maiden can break through in a short period of time depends on Sister Shangyun. It seems like the 9th Divine Sun's appearance will be met with many obstacles." Qin Yun sighed. "Of course, because if the 9th Divine Sun comes into being now, it will be very disadvantageous for Universe Lost Spirit and the others." Xiao Yuemei said, "Brother, don't worry about this. When the time comes, Big Sister and I will bring you along." Qin Yun only knows that before the 9th Divine Sun comes into being, there will be a battle. The main battle will be over the control of the 9th Divine Sunday Boom. The heavenly law altar ferociously collided with the barrier of Hualing Emperor City, causing the earth to tremble. At the same time the energy collided, a violent energy storm burst out. Flames were fierce, lightning flashed, and thunder rumbled. Raging wind howled. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuemei jumped in fright. The people inside the divine inscription mountain cried out in alarm. Ancient beasts are also inside the divine inscription mountain. He is together with 9-Sun Kuanpeng. There are also Azure Dragon, Baizhe, Black Rat, Black Tortoise, and other beasts. Ancient beasts can also communicate with them. They are all outside the divine inscription mountain. The ones who are most shocked by the collision of energy are the ancient beasts, because the aura of this power is clearly beyond the divine space realm. When did this guy Tian Dao Zi become so strong? Qin Yun exclaimed in admiration. Xiao Yuemei took out her small mirror and pointed it at Hualing Emperor City below. This small mirror is like her eyes. When it shines on Hualing Emperor City, she can see many things that can't be seen with naked eyes and then transmitted in her mind. Qin Yun also opened his heavenly eye. He can see that the energy of Hualing Emperor City is frantically converging towards the heavenly law altar. Brother, the heavenly law altar has absorbed most of the defensive energy. This is great. Let's directly attack the weak point of the barrier. Xiao Yuemei quickly finished eating the dragon peach in her hand. All right, let's start now. Qin Yun said, Tian Dao Zi is attacking the south gate. Let's attack the east gate now. Xiao Yuemei immediately sent the news of them attacking the east gate to Xiao Hua, telling them to quietly go to the east gate. When the barrier is broken, They can directly enter from the east gate and attack Hualing Emperor City. Regarding the defense of Hualing Emperor City, the big shots in the city are very confident. After all, the Emperor City is on a super treasure land. It can gather a lot of energy for defense. It will not be breached in a short period of time. Moreover, Heavenly Emperor Hualing has already mobilized troops, ready to go out and attack the Heavenly Law Altar. Chapter 3350. Inside Hualing Emperor City, a burst of roars suddenly burst out. It should be the Hualing Emperor gathering his forces and preparing to attack. Qin Yun is suddenly worried about the Heavenly Altar. After all, Hualing Emperor City is an Emperor City. Although the Heavenly Altar is very powerful now, who knows if Hualing Emperor City has any trump cards? When Qin Yun attacked Deluo Imperial City before, it aroused the vigilance of other imperial cities. They will more or less be on guard. Tiandao Zi should be able to hold on. Xiao Yuanmei said. She and Qin Yun are flying towards the east gate. The east gate of Hualing Emperor City is still heavily guarded, but these forces are nothing in the eyes of Qin Yun and Xiao Yuanmei. They can see that the energy of the entire Hualing Emperor City is gathering towards the south gate. The south gate should not only strengthen the defense. Maybe they are gathering the energy of the entire Emperor City to activate the killing formation. Qin Yun glanced at the south gate and contacted Shimanda Zhuang, asking him to find a way to send a message to Tiandao Zi. Qin Yun does not want the Heavenly Altar to be destroyed here. Just when Qin Yun is worried about the Heavenly Altar, the entire altar suddenly flashed with golden light and then burst out with a terrible heat wave, making people feel like they're near a divine Sunday. Inside the Heavenly Altar, there is a powerful divine sun. From the strong light that burst out of the Heavenly Altar, the divine sun is very special. It should not be a common divine sun, nor is it a divine sun that Qin Yun is familiar with. After the Heavenly Altar burst out with strong light, it continued to crazily attack the south gate of Hualing Emperor City. The gate of Hualing Imperial City was originally very huge and magnificent, but it seemed very small in front of the altar of heaven, which was like a huge mountain. However, this is also the strength of Hualing Emperor City. Facing the attack of a behemoth like the Heavenly Altar, the barrier is still very stable and there is no sign of it being broken. Qin Yun judged that if this kind of power was used to attack the gate of Deluo Imperial City, it would have been broken long ago. This shows that the defense of Hualing Emperor City must have been strengthened later. Why can it be strengthened so strongly in such a short time? This made Qin Yun think of many things. Although Barbarian Emperor Barbarian race is very powerful, they're not familiar with these formations, so it is definitely not the help of Barbarian Emperor. Hualing Empire has a close relationship with other Taishe powers. They are even stronger than Taishe powers in all aspects. So it is definitely not the help of Taishe powers. In that case, there must be another force that helped the Hualing Empire reinforce the barrier. Qin Yun could only think of the Cosmos God race and the descendants of the Divine Sun clan. If it is really these two factions, then Qin Yun has to be more careful. At the same time, he has to reevaluate the strength of these two factions. The descendants of the Cosmos God race and the Divine Sun God race were highly likely to grasp an even more advanced inscription technique, which was the heavenly rune character. The altar of heaven was still crazily attacking the south gate, and the tremors continued. Everyone inside and outside the city was shocked by the waves of impact. Some people marveled at the ferocity of the attack, while others marveled at the strength of Hualing Imperial City's defense. When Qin Yun and Xiao Yuanmei saw this kind of offensive and defensive formation, they suddenly had a headache. This meant that the defense of Hualing Imperial City was not as weak as they thought. Brother, Tiandao Zi is really going all out. Is this his style? Xiao Yuanmei asked. She is very familiar with Tiandao Zi. No, Qin Yun shook his head. I don't know if Tian Dao Zi's brain has gone haywire. This is really not his style. You see, we're getting further and further away from the South Gate, but the movement there is still very big. There are still many armies inside the Imperial City ready to attack. If it was the previous Tian Dao Zi, he would have already escaped. Brother, even if the energy of the East Gate weakened, I am afraid it will not be easy to break in. Xiao Yuanmei said, I miscalculated. Previously, I estimated the defense of Hualing Imperial City based on the strength of Great Luo Imperial City's defense. Qin Yin said, I also expected that the defense of Hualing Imperial City would increase, but I did not expect it to increase by so much. What should we do next? Xiao Yuanmei has a lot of tricks, but when she needs truly formidable power, her little tricks are useless. We will sneak in. Qin Yin suddenly stopped, took out the magic mirror, and contacted Luo Shuang. How we go in? Through the little queen ant? I'm afraid that won't work. Their defense must have sealed the space very well. Even passing through the dark space will be very difficult. They must have built their own space wall. Who helped Hualing Imperial City create a barrier? Xiao Yuanmei also thought of many methods, but none of them worked. Actually, through her small mirror, she can see the space wall defense, so she knows that it will be very difficult to pass through the dark space. Even if they succeed, it would only be the two of them entering the city. Would there be an expert above the divine space realm overseeing the city? This is hard to say. If there is with just the two of them, it would be very difficult to pose a threat to the city. Qin Yin contacted Luo Shuang to ask her about Xian Qingning. Xian Qingning is the daughter of the great mysterious stars, Taisher Power. Moreover, she is a very important Nine Heavens goddess. Luo Shuang said before that she also hoped that Xian Qingning would fall into Qin Yun's hands and be controlled by him like her. The great mysterious stars, Taisher Power, came from the same universe as Hualing Imperial City. It is also because Xian Qingning is the Nine Heavens goddess that the great mysterious star is very important to Hualing Imperial City and also has a very high position. Now, if he wants to sneak into Hualing Imperial City and figure out the situation, going through Xian Qingning is the fastest. I thought you'd forgotten about it. Xian Qingning's battleship is in the sky above Hualing Imperial City. I have been keeping an eye on her, so I know her whereabouts very well. Luo Shuang immediately provided Qin Yun with Xian Qingning's information. Yuanmei, let's not attack the city first. Let's go find someone first and let her lead us into the city. Qin Yun said. Who? Xiao Yuanmei asked curiously. I want to find a Nine Heavens goddess. Her name is Xian Qingning. Qin Yun said. What? Find her? Xiao Yuanmei said in shock. You know her? Qin Yun is somewhat surprised. Of course I know her. I met her once. It was the universe law spirit who asked her to pass on a message to us. Xiao Yuanmei said. I have a grudge with her. It is time to settle it. She is the universe law spirit's person. Nothing could be better. I can ask her about the situation of the universe law spirit. If possible, I also want to pass on a message to the universe law spirit through her. Qin Yun said. Xian Qingning's battleship is indeed very high up in the sky. Moreover, it is very well hidden. Qin Yun can only sense it after getting close. And through the small mirror, Xiao Yuanmei can sense that there are more than 10 souls inside the battleship. Only 10 people. Qin Yun is somewhat doubtful. Such a big battleship. How come there are only 12 people? But these souls are all very strong. They don't look like divine sun descendants. How can these guys' souls be so strong? Xiao Yuanmei said with frown. Yuanmei, are you going in with me or waiting for me outside? Qin Yun asked. Of course we're going in together. Let's go. Xiao Yuanmei is not afraid at all. At this time, Qin Yun's magic mirror vibrated. He took out the magic mirror and found out that Heavenly Emperor Hualing has brought a group of people to fight. And inside the Heavenly Law altar, a large group of people actually came out to fight. They're all bald and very strong. I want to chat with like-minded people about. $article_title. WeChat followed Yudu literature. Chat about life. Find bosom friends. Chapter 33:51. No, Zonghan, don't blame elder sister. Shenxin shook her head and was about to leave. I can't stay. Qinhai won't let me go. I can't cause trouble for you and elder sister. Her face was pale and her thin body trembled. The current Shun Xingyue's terrified and helpless appearance overlapped with her expression from back then. Xiao Zonghan's face immediately darkened. You stay, he said in a commanding tone. Because the Shun Xingyue in his memory was most afraid of this tone of voice, sure enough, when she saw his icy expression. Although Shun Xingyue still hesitated, she no longer mentioned leaving. Xiao Zonghan quickly ordered people to prepare a room for Shun Xingyue. It was large and comfortable. Seeing Shun Xingyue not dare to touch it, Xiao Zonghan couldn't bear it. His large hand rubbed her hair. Be good, you stay here. Don't worry, I will definitely protect you in the future. Shun Xingyue's shoulders trembled slightly. After a while, she suddenly sobbed in a weak voice. Zonghan, I'm so scared that this is all a dream. Her slender arms wrapped around his waist. Xiao Zonghan's figure paused, but in the end, he did not push her away. The night was dark. Shun Xingyue buried her face in front of Xiao Zonghan. She seemed to be wiping away her tears as her arms tightened around him. Young commander. At this moment, an untimely male voice sounded. Young madam is gone. Young madam? Hearing this name, Shun Xingyue's eyes flashed. However, Xiao Zonghan's attention was on the last three words. Gone. Where could she have gone? Xiao Zonghan pushed Shun Xingyue's body away, stood up, and strode out. Zonghan. A timid female voice sounded. Xiao Zonghan turned around and saw Shun Xingyue's teary eyes. Don't be afraid. You can stay here in peace. I will definitely protect you. He promised as he closed the door and left. As soon as the door closed, the smile on the man's face suddenly disappeared. The icy night wind blew on Xiao Zonghan's body. While it caused his heart to quickly freeze and harden. That woman had actually disappeared. When she heard that Xingyue had returned, she ran away in fear. When he thought of the scars on Shun Xingyue's body, he couldn't help but clench his fists. The blue veins on Xiao Zonghan's sturdy arms bulged. Xiao Zonghan's expression became more and more unsightly as the strides under his feet also became larger and larger. At the age of 7, he became a peripheral member of the Shun family and gathered information for Shun Qinghe. At the age of 17, he had already obtained information for Shun Qinghe countless times and escaped death countless times. He didn't know Shun Qinghe anything, but Shun Qinghe's daughter had ruined his lover. With the same background and similar appearance. Shun Xiyin had always been the center of attention since she was a child, but what about Xingyu? She wore Shun Xiyin's old clothes and ate cold food. She lived humbly and carefully in that house. In the end, he was still tricked by that woman. A young heart cannot understand love, but it can distinguish hatred. He clearly remembered that it was the Mid-Autumn Festival. Shun Xingyue lay naked under Qinhai. Qinhai's face and Shun Xingyue's tears had replayed in his mind over and over again over the past few years. He hated Shun Xiyin. From that day onwards, 1 year, 2 years, 10 years. Never stopped. He wanted Shun Xiyin to atone for his sins for the rest of her life. With a bang, the door to the side room was forcefully kicked open by the man. The empty and dark room was so quiet that there was not a trace of life. Sure enough, that person had disappeared. Xiao Zonghan stood at the door, his dark eyes sweeping over the people kneeling in front of him one by one. Why haven't you looked yet? This subordinate will go look for her now. For a moment, the young commander's residence was brightly lit. Time ticked by, second by second. The moon was high in the sky. The housekeeper bowed in front of Xiao Zonghan, not daring to make a single sound. Young commander, no. Young commander, no. Following the repeated reports, the man's frown deepened. Shun Xingyue actually dared to escape. She dared to escape right under his nose. Chapter 33:52. Qin Yun had previously guessed that the descendants of the Cosmos God race and the Divine Sun race had come to Huoling Imperial City But from Xian Qingning's tone, it seemed that it wasn't them, but someone else. Heavenly Son of Dharma Spirit is in Huo Ling Emperor City. After Xian Qingning finished speaking, she saw Qin Yun's blank expression and said, "You don't know Heavenly Son of Dharma Spirit?" Xiao Yuanmei is somewhat astonished, she said in low voice. Cosmos Lost Spirit's son. Qin Yun was even more puzzled as he asked, "How can the universe's Dharma Spirit have a son? Is he your biological son?" There isn't just one son of heaven of Dharmakaya. There are many of them. Let's put it this way. Our nine heavens goddess should be considered the daughter of the universe's magical spirit, but we don't have any blood relationship with it. This blood relationship refers to the soul relationship. The universe's lost spirit is a very powerful soul, and the lost spirit son of heaven is a soul child that was nurtured through his soul using a special method. The soul child has a large amount of inheritance, but it will not inherit the memories of the universe's lost spirit. At the same time, it can grow on its own and have an independent personality. The number of Dharma's spiritual sons of heaven isn't large, but it isn't small either. They're scattered all over the universe. Some are left to fend for themselves, while others are taken care of. But no matter what, these Dharma spiritual sons of heaven are completely loyal to the universe's Dharma spiritual sons. Xian Qingning sighed after saying that. 9 heavenly goddesses like us are just tools. I know. Qin Yun obviously knew that he had interacted with many 9 heavens goddesses. If they were to receive the universe's Dharma spirit's special attention, they would definitely not be as weak as they are now. And the lost spirit son of heaven was the most important descendant of the lost spirits of the universe. Qin Yun underestimated the universe Dharma spirit's human nature. He never expected that this universe Dharma spirit would have the thought of sowing seeds. In that case, heavenly sons of Dharma spirit are very powerful. Qin Yun was not afraid. Of course, the reason why Huo Ling Imperial City's defense was so powerful was because of the transformation of Emperor Faling. Moreover, Emperor Faling had obviously come to Huo Ling Imperial City for something. There are many descendants of the Cosmos God race and Godson God race in Huo Ling Emperor City. Xian Qingning said, "Godly Monarch, what is your purpose in attacking the city? You seem to have chosen the wrong time." The reason why Qin Yun attacked the fire-soaring Imperial City was to take away the resources below the Imperial City. There was a large amount of Divine Universe golden stones below. However, he underestimated the resources under Huo Ling Emperor City, this treasure land. Other than a large number of Divine Universe goldstones, there were actually other important things. The treasured land beneath Luo Imperial City had given birth to a very special water moon. It was clear that these super treasured lands were all extraordinary. To tell you the truth, I attacked fire-soaring Emperor City in order to take away the Divine Universe Goldstone. Qin Yun said, "Not only do I want to attack fire-soaring Emperor City, I also want to visit the treasure land of the entire new human race." The barbarian emperor was not in the divine wilderness. This was a great opportunity. It was just that he did not expect the Dharma spirit son of heaven to appear. Xian Qingning stared blankly for a moment. Then she thought about it carefully. Qin Yun's timing was indeed very suitable. Firstly, the universe Dharma spirit and the 9 heavens Dharma spirit were unable to descend into the divine wilderness. And the barbarian emperor was not Qin Yun's match. How strong is Heavenly Son Faling? Xiao Yuanmei asked. I don't know. He must be stronger than me. Xian Qingning shook her head. In my opinion, the Divine King should not be their match. However, it might be that I am short-sighted and cannot see through the Divine King's true strength. You are a smart person. You should know the reason why I came to find you. Qin Yun did not put Heavenly Son Faling in his heart. Of course I know. You want me to bring you into fire-soaring Emperor City. Xian Qingning immediately guessed and said, I can do it, but you have to promise me one condition. I must control you. You have no other choice. You want me to give you back your freedom? This is impossible. Qin Yun said, You must be clear. Even if I don't need your help, I will definitely break into Fire Soaring Emperor's city today. However, it will take a lot of effort, so you are not necessary." Xian Qingning shook her head and said, "When I saw you, I knew that I could not escape from your palm. So I never thought that I could break free from your control. My condition is very simple. I want to know how you found me. My whereabouts are very secretive. Only 10 people know of my whereabouts, and they're all in this battleship. It was Luo Shuang who told me," Qinyan said. Xian Qingning's eyes suddenly widened and revealed a trace of ruthlessness. Then she gnashed her teeth and said, "That damned slut. From today onwards, you and she are my subordinates." Qinyan said, "Yes." Xian Qingning learned that Luo Shuang has also fallen into Qin Yun's hands, and her heart calmed down a lot. "Immediately take action. Bring us in a Fire Soaring Emperor's city." Qin Yun took out the magic mirror and contacted the Divine Inscription Mountain. He asked the mountain god to control the Divine Inscription Mountain to shrink so that they can enter Xian Qingning's battleship. The Divine Inscription Mountain turned into a small stone ship and quickly reached the sky. Then, under Xian Qingning's guidance, it entered the battleship's warehouse. Qin Yun has already branded Xian Qingning's soul with a contract imprint. She must obey Qin Yun and cannot betray him. "Are you going to enter Fire Soaring Emperor's city with a battleship? How do you operate it?" Qin Yun asked. "Fire Soaring Emperor's city has been modified. There is a spatial wall inside, but there is also a spatial teleportation formation inside. After I land, as long as I issue a request, they will bring the battleship into the Emperor's city." Xian Qingning said, "Is your relationship with the heavenly sons of Lost Spirit very good?" Xiao Yuanmei ate the dragon peach and asked curiously. She has been together with Xie Karu during this period of time, so she knows a bit about the Nine Heavens goddess. Xie Karu was once the Nine Heavens goddess, Tian Shiro. She often talked about the matter of universe Lost Spirit. "We are the maids of the heavenly sons of Lost Spirit. However, we appeared much earlier than them. We have never seen the heavenly sons of Lost Spirit before. They need us very much. In other words, they want to use our bodies to reproduce. As long as I release my soul fluctuation, they will know that I am the Nine Heavens goddess and let me in." Xian Qingning said. Qin Yun frowned. He finally understood why the Nine Heavens goddesses want to get rid of the control of the universe Lost Spirit. How many heavenly sons of Lost Spirit are there in Fire Soaring Emperor's city? Qin Yun asked. "There are quite a few. If only I, the Nine Heavens goddess, go in, then I will." Xian Qingning did not continue. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuanmei also understood. "Luckily, you became my brother's subordinate." Xiao Yuanmei shrugged her shoulders and said, "What's the difference?" Xian Qingning coldly said, "In her eyes there is no difference." Xiao Yuanmei said with smile, "Brother, it seems like you have a bad reputation." Qin Yun helplessly spread out his hands. And now, Xian Qingning's battleship is suddenly wrapped up by a formidable spatial power. This spatial power is very strange. Qin Yun said in amazement, "The heavenly sons of Lost Spirit are very powerful." Xian Qingning nodded. "Divine King, if you meet them, you must be very careful." Qin Yun immediately contacted the Divine Inscription Mountain and told the ancient beasts to prepare. Mobile users, please visit Chapter 3353. Deity King, you don't need to rush to battle. Wait until I thoroughly investigate their situation, then I will make a decision. Sometimes there is no need to fight fiercely. If we can quietly settle this matter, that would be the best." Xian Qingning said. She very quickly entered the role of a tool. Qin Yun is very satisfied with her performance and nodded his head. "Are those Lost Spirit heavenly sons in a hurry to find Nine Heavens goddess?" Qin Yun asked. Xiao Yuanmei's beautiful eyes suddenly lit up. She knows that Qin Yun wants to go back to his old business of swindling people. Indeed, Lost Spirit heavenly sons are very special. They need the cooperation of Nine Heavens goddess to reproduce. Xian Qingning said. Qin Yun suddenly had a plan in his heart and looked at Xiao Yuanmei. "Brother, are you starting to play dirty tricks in your stomach?" Xiao Yuanmei said with sinister smile. "Yuanmei, have you seen Xiao Ma? Can you turn him into Xian Qingning?" Qin Yun asked. "This Xiao Ma's structure is very strange and very strong. I'm afraid it will take some effort. I will only know after I try. Call him over now." Xiao Yuanmei already knows what Qin Yun is planning. Qin Yun went to the warehouse of the battleship and called the ancient beast to come out of the divine rune mountain. Seeing the ancient beast, Xian Qingning is very shocked. She can see that the ancient beast has surpassed divine void realm. She thought that Qin Yun was the only one who has surpassed divine void realm. She did not expect that another one would appear. Moreover, it is a beast. "Xiao Ma, I will turn you into her." Qin Yun pointed at Xian Qingning and said with smile, "Relax, this won't affect you." After the ancient beast came out, he learned more and more about divine desolate. Moreover, he also has a gender. He is a male ancient beast. Knowing that he is a male ancient beast, he became stunned for a few seconds and then exploded in anger. "Qin Yun, didn't you say that you wanted to fight? You wanted to fight? Then why fight?" The ancient beast is very unhappy. Xian Qingning also knows what Qin Yun is planning. She finds it very funny in her heart, but she doesn't dare to show it. Xiao Yuanmei giggled and said, "Brother Xiao Ma, it's fine. My brother used to transform before. After you transform, you can lower people's guard against you. That way, you can catch them off guard and kill them. I am upright and above board. If you want to fight, then fight. There's no need for such underhanded tricks." The ancient beast raised its head high, its voice full of righteousness. Its unyielding arrogance was also quite infectious. "Xiao Ma, the enemy you're facing might be 5 people who are as strong as me. If we join forces, I'm afraid we won't be able to defeat them in a short period of time. Even if we win, I won't be able to achieve the purpose of this trip. Don't forget, we're friends. We made a promise before." Qin Yun also knew that the ancient beast would not agree so easily. Back then, the ancient beast had agreed to help Qin Yun obtain the divine universe golden stone. Then, Qin Yun would give him the divine sun blood seed for him to cultivate. If one did not cultivate, there was no way to become stronger. Furthermore, the divine yang blood seed was very difficult to obtain. The ancient beast guessed that Qin Yun had used a dermic formulation to create it. "You don't need to worry about this. Even if I have to risk my life, I will fulfill my promise and help you annihilate the enemy," the ancient beast said stubbornly. "Even if I die, I will not transform into a woman. Moreover, there's no need to kill them. I just need to delay them. Those guys are the sons of universe law spirits. They are called Fa Ling Heavenly Sun." Qin Yun said, "If we meet them, it would be best if we can annihilate them. Otherwise, they will only become stronger and stronger in the future and become the wings of universe law spirits." "What? Fa Ling Heavenly Sun? This group of scoundrels. I will definitely kill them." The ancient beast's tone suddenly became very agitated and said, "If I want to transform into a woman, then I will transform into a woman." Xiao Yuanmei and Xian Qingning are very amazed. They cannot help but look at each other. Qin Yun is also a bit surprised. He did not expect the ancient beast to have such deep hatred for universe law spirits. "Yuanmei, let's move," Qin Yun said with smile. If it was under normal circumstances, Xiao Yuanmei would be able to transform people very quickly. However, the ancient beast is too powerful. His strength is far above Xiao Yuanmei's. Even now, it is very difficult for Xiao Yuanmei to transform Qin Yun. Therefore, Qin Yun is very relieved that Xiao Yuanmei won't transform him into a woman. This little girl has always wanted to transform him into a woman, but has never succeeded. Xiao Yuanmei has no choice but to use her miraculous mirror martial spirit. She first used the mirror to illuminate Xian Qingning and then the ancient beast. "Brother, help me," Xiao Yuanmei said in low voice. "Hold my mirror and pour your power into it." Qin Yun grabbed the handle of the mirror and poured his power into it. Then Xiao Yuanmei began using Sun Moon Heart Sutra. Only now did she realize how powerful Qin Yun is. The ancient beast is also very shocked because it possesses a very powerful transformation ability. However, other people can transform it into a person. This kind of ability is very mystical for it. With Qin Yun's help, Xiao Yuemei was able to complete this transformation. The ancient beast transformed into Xian Qingning's appearance. Xian Qingning only felt goosebumps in her heart. Just a moment ago, it was a majestic horse, but now it looks exactly like her. Qingning, give it some memories. Don't let it expose itself when the time comes. Qin Yun said with a smile. The ancient beast also spoke. What exactly do I need to do? Its voice is exactly the same as Xian Qingning's voice. It is not difficult for ancient beasts to imitate other people's voice. What caused Xiao Yuemei and Qin Yun to be pleasantly surprised is that the ancient beast can also transform into Xian Qingning's unique ninth heaven goddess aura. Try to lure them into my trap. This trap is inside this large battleship, Qin Yun said. Soon after, Qin Yun, Xiao Yuemei, Xian Qingning, and the ancient beast began discussing all kinds of details. After the discussion, the ancient beast who was transformed into Xian Qingning immediately left the battleship and waited outside for the few Fa Ling heavenly sons. Qin Yun began setting up formation inside the battleship. He has no choice but to use the 7 bloodline heavenly pattern boxes to set up the formation. Otherwise, he won't be able to suppress the Fa Ling heavenly sons. What caused Qin Yun to be surprised is that the ancient beast quickly sent a message through the magic mirror, saying that the 5 Fa Ling heavenly sons have taken a bait. However, Qin Yun still has not finished setting up the formation. Qin Yun took out the 9-sun heaven raising pagoda and turned it into a square room. He used the first floor to set up the formation. Fortunately, with the help of Divine King Heavenly Seal and Old Brother Genesis Supreme, the formation can be set up very quickly. After the formation is completed, the ancient beast brought the 5 Fa Ling heavenly sons into the 9-sun heaven raising pagoda. Qin Yun hid Xian Qingning so that she won't be sensed by the Fa Ling heavenly sons. Xiaoma, is there only one Fa Ling heavenly son? Qin Yun, who is hiding inside the 9-sun heaven raising pagoda, saw that the ancient beast only brought in one Fa Ling heavenly son and cannot help but ask. There's a total of 5. The other 4 are waiting outside in line. The ancient beast said. Qin Yun is speechless. These Fa Ling heavenly sons are truly strange in order to reproduce. Chapter 3354. The Son of Heaven who came in was a tall and sturdy man. He looked fierce, cold, and valiant. Qin Yun was secretly worried for the ancient beast. If the ancient beast could not deal with the heavenly son of Faling, the consequences would be unimaginable. After transforming into Xian Qingning, the ancient beast's aura became vivid and lifelike. What made Qin Yun's hair stand on end was that it was unknown where the ancient beast learned how to act coquettishly. It was able to portray an ice-cold woman like Xian Qingning in a flirtatious and charming manner. Isn't this guy too immersed in his role? Isn't that a little too much? Old Brother Taisher was also watching. Brother Xiaoma is so coquettish. Xiao Yuemei is also very surprised. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuemei are in the 2nd floor of the 9-sun sky raising pagoda. No matter what he transforms into, he'll be able to get into the right state very quickly, even though he's not using his own transformations. Qin Yun immediately sent a voice transmission to the ancient beast, telling him not to be in a rush to take action. He wanted to first ask the heavenly son of Dharma Spirit some questions. When the ancient beast just broke out of its shell, it was indeed naive. However, it is an ancient beast that has lived for many years after all. In addition to following an old fox like Qin Yun, it improved very quickly. Therefore, he immediately understood Qin Yun's intentions. He knew that Qin Yun wanted to know the whereabouts of the universe's Dharma Spirit. The ancient beast had always wanted to seek revenge on the universe's lost spirit. Little brother Tianzi, do you know where Fa Ling's father is now? Gusho softly chuckled, her eyes filled with charm. Qingning, how long has it been since you communicated with father? Emperor Faling asked. Although his expression was cold, it was clear that he wanted to conquer Qingning. He was the first to follow the ancient beast in, which meant that his strength was the strongest among the 5 Dharma spirit heavenly sons. There were many Faling heaven emperors, but only 5 of them came to Hualing Imperial City. As for their strength, Qingyan also wanted to know. Sai, in my father's heart, the 9 heavens goddesses are far less important than the Faling heavenly son. I haven't talked to my father for many years. Ancient Beast sighed. Qingning, there are still 4 hallowed heavenly sons outside. Although they are all my brothers, I do not have any feelings for them. Logically speaking, we all need to reproduce with you. But I have decided now, only I can have you. The Son of Heavens will suddenly become very serious. But Father said that I must reproduce for you. The ancient beast sighed deeply, its expression full of grief. It said in a low voice, how could I not want to only be loyal to one of them? However, Father wouldn't allow it. There are only those few 9 heavenly goddesses, while there are many Dharmic heavenly sons, right? There are more than 100 hallowed heavenly sons. There are only 9 heavenly goddesses, and I want to enjoy all of them, so I must kill them. The son of Fa Ling sneered. Looks like you don't understand, Father. Father's meaning is that he hopes for all of us, the son of Fa Ling, to fight against each other, and in the end, the winner will take it all. Qin Yun is somewhat anxious because the Son of Heaven did not reveal the whereabouts of a universe's Dharma spirit. It can be seen that he is rather cautious. Is that so? Where is my father now? Can I communicate with him? Seek his opinion? The ancient beast continued to ask. Son of Heaven, Fa Ling suddenly flashed in front of the ancient beast, then grabbed the ancient beast's wrist, the other hand placed on the ancient beast's slender waist. There's no need to seek Father's opinion. All of you, 9 heavenly goddesses are mine. After we are done, take me to find the other 9 heavenly goddesses. Son of Fa Ling said. Qin Yun is very unhappy in his heart. Yu Shang Yun, Siekaru, and Luo Yaofeng are all 9 heavenly goddesses. However, they were used by the universe's Dharma spirit to be defiled by these son of Fa Ling. Since there is this kind of karma, then he must get rid of all the son of Fa Ling. Where is Father? I want to see him. As the ancient beast spoke, it suddenly shed tears and said, to be honest, after being abandoned by Father for so many years, my heart has always been very sad. After all, I was created by him. I want to obtain his approval. Father is not in this space. I actually don't know where he is either. He only told us to come to Hualing Imperial City and take away the divine Sun Bloodseed Crystal under the Imperial City. Son of Fa Ling said, Qingning, let's do something first. Once we are done, I will go out and beat up the other brothers so that they will give up on you. Qin Yun and the ancient beast are secretly excited in their hearts. They have finally gotten some important information. Divine Sun Bloodseed Crystal? What is this thing? Why is it under Hualing Imperial City? It must be related to the divine Sun Bloodseed. The ancient beast immediately transmitted his voice to Qin Yun, indicating him to prepare to take action. And at this time, son of Fa Ling's body is already burning up. He hugged the ancient beast. Qin Yun immediately activated the formation set up by the Bloodline Heavenly Pattern Box. The Divine King Heavenly Seal suddenly appeared above the ancient beast and son of Fa Ling. The Great Formation has been activated. At this time, the ancient beast also suddenly turned into a ball of energy. This is his original form. He escaped from the embrace of son of Fa Ling. Son of Fa Ling's heart is alarmed. He immediately revolved the power in his body. This is a very powerful divine cosmos power. A divine cosmos power that surpasses the divine cosmos realm suddenly erupted. The power is still very strong. However, no matter how powerful the energy is, it was still devoured by the formation formed by the Bloodline Heavenly Pattern Box. The Bloodline Heavenly Pattern Box has a small universe inside. It is composed of countless heavenly runes. Devouring this bit of energy is nothing. "You are not Qingming. Who are you?" Son of Fa Ling furiously shouted. The ancient beast that turned into a ball of energy ferociously charged its son of Fa Ling Qin Yun controlled the great formation to absorb son of Fa Ling's energy. He did not personally participate in the battle. The ancient beast also did not let Qin Yun participate in the battle because he wants to kill the Cosmos Fa Ling's son himself. Regarding son of Fa Ling, the ancient beast has a bit of understanding. He wants to personally let the Cosmos Fa Ling feel his will for vengeance. Son of Fa Ling's strength has already surpassed the divine Cosmos realm. Although he did not return to the beginning like Qin Yun, his strength is still very formidable. Even with the suppression of Qin Yun's great formation, this son of Fa Ling's strength is still not weaker than the ancient beast. The ancient beast turned into a ball of energy and only charged forward quickly. He does not have any cultivation technique, so his power usage is very limited. However, Qin Yun knows that the ancient beast body contains a very formidable power. After all, it is a special divine sun blood seed condensed from energy body. It is just that it has not received any guidance. The ancient beast had no choice but to turn into a horse. He did not turn into a 9-sun Kuan Peng because he is worried that he would not be able to control himself and want to become bigger. At that time, it would cause a lot of trouble. It can be seen that he is still rational at this moment. "Qin Yun, are you not planning on making a move?" Old brother Taisher asked. "Let him face the strong enemy first. Let him know that in this world, he is not invincible." Qin Yun said, "I can see that little horse is not that son of Fa Ling's match at all. He can't even defeat the son of Fa Ling, much less the Cosmos Fa Ling." The ancient beast can directly sense that the opponent's strength far exceeds his. Are all the son of Fa Ling so powerful? Furthermore, there are so many son of Fa Ling. Then how strong is the Cosmos Fa Ling that created them? At this moment, the ancient beast has already realized that if he were to seek revenge on the Cosmos Fa Ling now, he would simply be throwing his life away. "Qin Yun, are you still not going to make a move?" The ancient beast suddenly shouted. The ancient beast knows that he can't win, so he doesn't want to suffer anymore. Previously, he sold his body, and it can be considered as a great merit. Now, he will leave it to the professionals. Mobile users, please visit that you're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.